This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the Christmas classic Home Alone, plus trailer reactions to Superman, Karate Kid Legends, and The Electric State, Christopher Nolan's next movie revealed, our thoughts on the latest episodes of Creature Commandos, The Skeleton Crew, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, December 23rd, 2024.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Why? I don't know.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hello, listener. Thanks for pressing play, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
Joining us is a fella who was left home alone once, only nobody ever came back to get him. So I guess it's more of an abandonment. That's right. It's Post Malone's brother, Ho Malone. What's up?
Just call me Ho.
Ho. He goes by Ho. No, it's really Rug Boy. And with some possible abandonment issues.
And tattoos on my face.
He's got tattoos on his face. That's why your family left you. Is that why?
Yeah. Among other reasons. Many other reasons.
I think that was the least of their
I don't mind being by myself. I like Kevin, like to be alone. I'm happy to be alone. It's fine.
He's happy to be a Ho Malone.
I can wipe my own ass.
He's happy to be a hoe alone.
Yes.
Rex is the original Wet Bandit. I don't know if you know this, but for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, we'll get into that, fellas, but there's some fun geek stuff to talk about before we get to that movie. Let's dive in.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Oh boy, get excited. It's here. James Gunn's DC Studios reset, reboot with the stink of the previous DC movies still kind of in my nose a little bit, I think. Kind of smell it. We've finally gotten our first official teaser trailer to James Gunn's Superman.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. It's a teaser trailer, but it's like over 2 minutes long. There's a lot going on here. And it, I guess you could say it kind of broke the internet last Thursday when it was released. James Gunn citing it getting 250 million views in 24 hours, making it the most viewed and talked about trailer in the history of both DC and Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow. Shit.
And it felt like that. I mean, I felt like Thursday, everybody was talking about this trailer. You couldn't get away from it. Even the normies. Even the normies are talking about this trailer. And we had a fun time on the Discord kind of breaking this down. And you've probably, if you're like me, you've probably seen tons of breakdown videos. So we're just going to discuss the trailer. Anthony, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, thank you.
Knowing the stakes involved with this movie and the anticipation, I think the most important question is, how did this trailer make you feel when you were done watching?
Well, I had to watch it a few times. I think the initial feeling I had was first because of the way it's cut with the music and all that. I think you can't help but feel a swelling of emotion towards Superman and what this potentially could do for DC and for the Superman character on the big screen. I thought overall it was pretty well done. I thought it was a well cut trailer. There's certainly a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that it seems to be very comic booky. I mean, you have Crypto the dog, you have all these different characters. There's definitely a lot going on, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. I think it was, upon further thought, I think it was relatively safe. Like, I don't know that they did anything crazy to make you go, oh, this is... They didn't do anything to make you go, oh, man, he's Zack Snydering this and doing something with the character that's way out of character.
Sure, right.
So in that sense, I think it's pretty safe. I think they did a pretty good job in terms of showing you enough while also making it a teaser. They did a good job with the music. So overall, I like the trailer. I saw people online crying watching it, which was kind of absurd.
There was a lot of people saying they cried. Yes.
Yes.
Superman is important, but for me, he's not my favorite superhero. But I do recognize that there's a lot riding on this movie. So overall, I think it was, if we had to equate this to sports, I would say this was
what sport we're going to go with?
Baseball. I would go with a pretty solid double.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not a home run.
Yeah.
Not something they didn't strike out. They got on base and they got an extra base hit. They did good enough to where you go, okay, we might be able to score here.
You know, I like that analogy, and I think I agree with that. Ruggs, like Anthony just mentioned, yes, some people calling it a perfect trailer. People were wowed, blown away, crying.
The Screen Crush guy was crying.
He was Ryan Airy crying on a video. A lot of people crying. Ruggs, did you cry? How did this trailer make you feel?
Crying?
I don't know.
I did not cry.
Okay.
I didn't get angry either. I actually was pleasantly whelmed by it. You know, I was like, all right, it's not it looks okay. But yeah, echoing Anthony's comments, the music did a lot of heavy lifting. I get a Pavlovian response to that Superman theme. It always makes me feel like otherworldly and inspiring, right?
Yeah.
So that music alone, like when the Snyder version of Superman used that theme for like 2 seconds, we all were like buzzing about. It's good to hear the theme, the Superman theme.
Absolutely.
So that when you watched it without it was less impactful. Obviously, Crypto, I don't know. I mean, how that went over. All the dog people love it, obviously, and little kids are gonna love Crypto. So those are kind of wins. The loses, I would say, is the suit. The suit, I don't feel like it looks good at all on screen.
It's a little baggy, is it not?
It just doesn't look right. It looks like he's wearing sweatpants, like a blue sweatsuit,
Anthony,
with underwear over it.
Anthony, is the suit not a little baggy looking to you? What do you think?
To be honest, I didn't notice it. I've noticed it more in the pictures than in the trailer. So I'd have to look back. It does look a little padded in the shoulders.
He's definitely got shoulder pads, yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like, it just doesn't look good. I never liked it from the first moment I saw it. I do like the symbol, and I like the fact that the pants are like, he's got the underwear over his pants.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like the color of the cape, and I got that he's got the symbol on the back. All of that stuff's fine. I don't even mind the collar. It's just the material, and it's not form-fitting, and it kind of looks it doesn't look good. I just don't think it doesn't inspire anything. It just looks like you get this at a Halloween store, and it just doesn't look
a little bit, maybe a little bit. Yeah. So look, overall, I'm torn. I've been struggling with this. What I think about this trailer, I've watched it a bunch of times. I'll start by saying it's Superman, right? There's a lot of writing on this. I wanted to be kind of wowed. I wanted to get chills, perhaps, kind of see the hope and the inspiration. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't really get a lot of that in this. It didn't hit me like some of these other people. It's a good trailer. I like that he's already showing us a couple of different things to set him apart from Man of Steel and stuff. It's colorful. And then stuff you've never seen in the Superman movie. Superman bloody, coughing up blood.
What do you mean?
When do we see like him cut up like
Superman
that?
2? Doesn't he get beat up?
Well, he gets beat up, but it's just like a little cut. I mean, not to this extent. I feel like you've never seen him this beat up where he's coughing up blood. And that's like that Superman. It was still a little clean cut. He just has like the other evil Superman's got a dirty face. Maybe he got bloody. And then Crypto is the other thing. Never seen it. Listen, Crypto's a good boy. This is a very James Gunn thing. I like it. I do wish the score was more in this, because I don't know why you got to make another Superman score. Like John Williams made a score that is iconic, makes you think of Superman. You don't need to do it over. Just give me that. Just give me that.
Well, I actually disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I think
perfect. You need to make a new score, because
every time.
Yes, because it's its own movie. It's not supposed to be connected to that movie. Also, keep in mind, while people didn't really mix feelings on Man of Steel, Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel score is also freaking awesome.
It's good.
It's really good. So you can make something awesome.
Yeah.
the thing about the beat up is actually kind of they did that strategically, I think.
Yeah.
Where you start the trailer where he's beat up, because one of the things about Superman is, he's just infallible and you can't really relate to him. So if you start the trailer off with him beat up in the snow,
Yeah.
you immediately go, oh, what the fuck just kicked his ass?
Yeah.
Gets you intrigued.
Yeah, that absolutely worked.
The movie.
I was like, somebody fucked him up. Who's this? And
Right.
Crypto looks really cute, right? He's cute. I think he's based after James Gunn's dog. And I would do the same thing. If I was in charge of like what the dog looks like, I'm making it look like my dog. But I would have picked like a Labrador retriever, maybe a little bit more muscular dog.
Now, do you think that this movie's overstuffed? There's a lot of characters in here.
We saw a lot of characters in here, and there are even more characters that we didn't see that are in this movie, but you get a good look. Let's just go through. I think Rachel Brosnahan looks fine, great as Lois, looks like Lois. Nicholas Hoult as Lex. He's bald, he's angry, he's got a revolver for some reason, sure.
He looks a little. I like Nicholas Hoult as an actor. He looks a little young to be Lex. Maybe it's just because he has a baby face.
And he does kind of have a baby face.
But he looks a little. He's not how I imagine Lex to look like. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I could buy him as like maybe a younger corporate CEO kind of thing. You get a good look at Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner in a ridiculous wig, which is comic accurate. It looks ridiculous. You see Hawk Girl. There's a kaiju. You see Mr. Terrific. Superman is fighting a dude in a dark suit. The other characters.
Metamorpho.
Oh, you see Metamorpho. That one shot of the face that kind of looks like Groot. It's not Groot. It's Metamorpho. The remaining characters. There's still Ultraman. There's the engineer, which I think that's the girl on the bridge under Luthor Corps. You have Maxwell Lord is in this, and apparently Supergirl is in this also, Millie Alcock. So there's a lot going on, and I know Gunn can juggle this. Can we talk about Clark's fucking broccoli haircut? I think this is hilarious because when I go to this barbershop and all the fucking young dudes that come in there all get the same haircut, and it's this haircut. So I was like, they give him the front flop fucking broccoli. But you know what? Once you slick it back, take the glasses off, he looks completely different. So it almost makes more sense, this hairstyle on a Superman.
That would be a fringe. He's got a fringe.
That's what it's called. Okay, it's a fringe.
I've seen people of your age comment on this.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever appeal to people of a certain age.
No.
It's definitely a Gen Z haircut.
But that's like the nature of haircuts, right? If you think every generation, it's kind of what happens. And like the older people always like
I would say that 90% of haircuts look like shit. And then there's only like maybe 2 or 3 haircuts that look good. That's my opinion.
Which haircuts do you like?
Yeah, what's the
I'm just saying, like, there's the classic ones that never go away. Like there's the classic,
the good old fashioned side part with the pomade.
Yeah, like it never goes away. There's like ones that have always stood the test of time, right? So
just like the straight comb back or the I don't know, the short tapered cut, fade, crew cut.
Yeah.
Now, how about Guy Gardner?
Tom Cruise has had all of them.
Okay, so we just got
all Tom Cruise's haircuts. He's had all of like the 5 good ones.
Okay, so those are the good haircuts. The slightly long, not quite mullet, but long, flowy hair.
Yeah, if you like think about every leading actor, what's their default haircuts?
The Keanu Reeves hair.
Brad Pitt has 3 haircuts.
That's right.
Yes. So it's like those 3, and then that's everything else is shit.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
If we want to go into haircuts, it really depends on your face shape. So not every haircut's look good with your face shape.
Keanu's long hair, I always loved on him. Like he's got the long face for that. But the Brad Pitt thing is right. He's had those 3. Sometimes when it's long, it looks
Brad Pitt's got a very good square jaw.
Yes.
So there's a lot more haircuts that can fit his face. Imran has a tiny head.
Yeah.
So there's not many.
What I have is called the pre-George Costanza style because pretty soon it's going to be George Costanza.
But if you look at like all of the leading men, like there's a certain even the black guys, like guys that are rocking different hair. Like there's you got the Lenny Kravitz that always looks good. You got there's certain haircuts that just look good, right? So
it's a hair system. It's not a wig. Anyways, back into this trailer. Look, I will give James Gunn this, right? Everything he's done, I love his stuff, and he always makes you feel something if you think about it. So I'm really expecting this from the movie. The trailer, unfortunately, didn't really make me feel anything. The shot where Superman's saving that girl in slow motion, that's dope. It's amazing.
I don't
love
know
that.
what she's doing though. She's just standing in
She's
front
standing
of
looking
canisters
at the
as
ground going,
kaijus walking
There's a
around.
giant foot. She's like, oh, look, a quarter. And then he has to save this poor dumb girl. But every Superman movie, somebody pointed out, kind of has that. But there's a lot going on, so hopefully he can juggle this. I love the thing with the war.
The big question is can he do a Superman film when all he's done in the last 10 years is ensemble films with outcasts that have dark past, but then find their humanity by forming a team.
And
that said, I think he's a really good writer.
Yeah.
So I think he probably will pull this off and at least make something good.
Yeah.
And I've kind of talked myself into the fact that Superman is also somewhat of an outcast.
Yeah. Well,
in terms of being an alien on Earth and all that. So I've worked my way into thinking this actually might be in his wheelhouse.
Okay. I mean, if anything, Superman he can make him super relatable, and I think he can pull that out. I kind of agree with you. Everything he does also has a lot of comedy in it, though, right? So I'm wondering what balance. Like a little bit of comedy is fine. There's some in the original Superman.
Do you think he can restrain himself?
That's the question.
Meaning he won't put his wife in this?
Well, no, I don't think she's in this. If you look at the
she's
cast,
got to be in it.
I don't see him.
I'll put money on it.
I don't see. He's got all his other friends.
He's gonna show up and be like, "Hey, listen, whatever. What's her name? The big bad guy, the lady,
the engineer,
yeah,
or Amanda Waller."
Yeah, Waller needs you to talk to you about something.
His brother is in this as Maxwell Lord. There is somebody playing Miss Tessmacher.
Brother's in this as Maxwell Lord?
Yes. So those costumes that you see Guy Gardner and Terrific and Hawkgirl wearing, I think they are Maxwell Lord costumes. They may be working for them. Oh, let me ask you this. Any hints, any theories? What do you think is happening in this movie? I think you could kind of piece a little bit of the tone and a little bit of the story together.
He released, you'd have to look up, I don't have it in front of me, but he released the essential reading for this book, for this movie. One of them was Birthright. I think another one was the Grant Morrison run. So if you just kind of combine some of that stuff.
Birthright's like the one where Lex Luthor makes everybody hate Superman.
I think that's what's happening here. I think
he's doing he's preparing us for an alien invasion.
Yeah, Lex is pulling a frame job on Superman to get everybody to hate him. Apparently, their first meeting will be in this movie, and Lex already hates him. And as this movie starts,
and then there's the other one where the other comic books where they showed alluded to Superman fighting Superman, like a clone of himself,
which could be the Ultraman. It could be Bizarro, or that Ultraman could be a clone of Superman, which is very Black Noir, I believe, is what they do in the Boys comics. Yeah, that's intriguing. There's a lot.
Wait, what does the Boys comics have to do with
Black Noir, who looks like Ultraman in this movie? They have like similar. If you look at the set photos, like they have similar costumes, except Ultraman.
Yeah, very similar.
In the comics, Black Noir was a clone of Homelander. So you can do something like
there's been multiple like clone Superman. There's been Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. So or maybe Lex clones Superman based on some DNA, and he
Connor Kent, Superboy.
There's Connor Kent, and turns him into his so because clearly I feel like something happens in that country, and then there's a blowback, and Superman gets blamed. Maybe it's that kaiju is not real, or Lex caused that. That country where that kid is, it says Boravia in one of the tickers. So it's the country. There's some war in Boravia. They have all these made up Middle East, like Kandak, Boravia,
Polokistan. What is?
Oh yeah, Polokistan in Creature Commandos. I was like, wow, what are these? These made up names are hilarious.
You should make Stanistan.
Stan is Stan. It says Stan of Stans. It's a country of Stans.
Stanistan.
You have to be named Stan to live there. Anyways, July 11th, this is coming out, and hopefully the next trailer gives us a little more story, and maybe I didn't connect with it the way other people did, but it's a good trailer. I see what he's doing. It's colorful. We'll see what happens. Listener, let us know your thoughts. There was a lot of comments about this. We will get into that in Jock and Nerd Nation, but you can join this conversation by joining our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. It's explosive diarrhea, exclusive closed group. That's what I meant to say. Just for you, listener. Yeah, just you. That's right. Okay. Moving on, I got a couple of.
How's that working? Are people joining the Facebook group? I haven't checked it out.
Sure, I don't know.
No?
Yeah, there's a couple people.
That's enough.
I go, maybe they're bots, maybe they're real people, maybe they're
okay.
AI. I don't know.
I do get requests every now and then, and I generally just don't touch them because I don't know if they're real people or not, because we have people that do that.
This
kind
is
of thing.
Bilatti's job, is to vet all these people.
Oh, yeah.
But no, some other people have recommended their friends, and I've let them in because they're good recommendations, solid recommendations.
Okay.
Let's talk about this other trailer that came out last week. A trailer of a movie coming together very quickly. I'm talking about Karate Kid Legends. Yes, the movie with Daniel LaRusso and Jackie Chan. Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, two different Karate Kid universes combining. Apparently, this movie, from an interview with Variety, Ralph Macchio has said, this takes place 3 years after the end of Cobra Kai.
So that means that's canon.
Cobra Kai's canon, and that other movie is canon. It's all canon. 2010's Karate Kid is canon.
I hate that that's canon.
This is coming out May 30th. Ruggs, let's start with you. We get a good look of our new protagonist kid, played by Ben Wang.
Right.
And, of course, Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, also in this, Ming-Na Wen, Joshua Jackson. What'd you think of this trailer? Geek Boner, Floppy Jock? How did it hit you?
I thought it was cool, and I think the kid has got some moves. He's flying all over the place. He's doing all kinds of kicks and very impressive martial arts photography here. So whoever they got to do the fight choreography, it's intriguing. We'll see the movie, how it turns out. But the trailer, it looks intriguing. It looks like there might be some explosive moves here, and it should be fun to watch. Now, the story, I don't know how this is going to work, because Ralph Macchio, after Cobra Kai, is now still looking for Mr. Miyagi shit. And I don't know how he plays into this whole thing, like how they're related. I hope it's not clunky.
Jackie Chan just comes to find Daniel, and I guess he knew Miyagi.
He has to know Miyagi.
But the movie takes place in New York, and Daniel's in fucking, what is that, Florida, California? I forget where
he's in California.
And it also, you
Valley,
see,
baby.
you
Come
see,
on.
oh yeah, the Valley. And then you see shots, I think, in China also. Anthony, had this trailer hit you?
So I watched this trailer about 20 times.
Nice.
I was pleasantly very surprised and happy to see this trailer. So when they announced Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio were doing a Karate Kid movie, I went, that's interesting. I don't know where they're going with that. I also had some skepticism, because I was going, you have Cobra Kai. It's doing so well. Why wouldn't you just continue that into the big screen?
Yeah.
So I was very skeptical and saw this trailer, and I went, damn, that's a good start. Here's why. One, I was expecting the tone that we get in Cobra Kai, which I like, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting that. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that this was much more serious, very grounded, treated seemingly like an adult type of thing, with reverence to the old Karate Kid, while also making Jackie Chan's Karate Kid canon. So I liked all of that. I liked the action that Ruggs mentioned with Ben Wang, him rotating around a ladder
off
in
the fire
alley.
escape. That kick, that's fucking dope. It's great.
That's awesome.
Great.
The one where he's
The
jumping
spin
in
kicks.
midair and
Yeah.
switching legs and kicking. So the thing that's been missing from a lot of the Karate Kid movies has been the action.
Yeah.
And if they're able to hit that, I mean, that's another thing. So it shows the range and the potential for Karate Kid. I also just liked the trailer. I liked the whole 2 branches, 1 tree,
That-
Ralph
yes,
Macchio
great
handing him
line.
the headband.
Oh my God.
I liked the drum beat. That's
Yes.
from Karate Kid Part
Dunk,
2.
dunk,
So they did all the things
Yeah.
to go, wow, they're treating this seriously. I'm like Ruggs, though, in that I don't know how you connect those 2 universes without it being clunky, but if they can come up with something that's not completely dumb, I'm all in. I like the trailer a lot.
Yeah, I think that, yes, action being great, all big plus. Like the karate being really good, big plus. The cinematography being like it has a cinematic quality, all a big plus. But everything in Karate Kid, and this is where sometimes Cobra Kai loses the plot. It's all tied to Miyagi-Do and the teaching of like this man teaching this other kid how to balance his life and how to kind of navigate his life through karate.
Right.
And if you don't have that, then you kind of lose the plot. So I know that this movie's about something. This kid, Jackie Chan, wants his help. I just don't know how it's going to play out, and I'm just hoping that it's a worthwhile reason. Otherwise, it's going to feel like a cash grab. If it's like a bait and switch, and he's not in the movie, he's not really doing much. He doesn't really need to be in here. He's just kind of like there to like we're going to try and spin off this thing to make other movies. It doesn't have that quality. I'm going to feel like a little bit like not so welcoming of that.
One thing that might be unintentional comedy, although they limited that footage in this, is Jackie Chan's a real martial artist, although he's old.
And then
Ben Wang seems to be athletic as fuck.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio is going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Ralph Macchio in a fucking brawl.
He's doing karate next to those two guys.
He's in like a big brawl fight surrounded by people. Okay, I want to see this. No, let me tell you, I watched this, and again, if I'm being completely honest, this trailer got me more excited and gave me chills more than the Superman trailer for some reason. When he goes 2 branches, 1 tree, I was like, oh shit. The clips, the bandana, the clips of this kid, Ben Wang, like, I love this kid already. I don't know what it is. He looks very capable. I think the story is he's like a martial arts prodigy and has to leave China. So as long as Jackie Chan gets Daniel and they fly back to New York and it takes place there in the streets, something about this fucking totally hooked me and gave me the chills. It looks great. I was like, I can't believe this came together so quickly because it was just a few months ago. I think they got Ben Wang in the cast.
I mean, I remember it may have been more than a few months ago. I remember them doing the video where they're like, we're doing another Karate Kid. This is the next chapter.
That was maybe like, it was earlier this year.
Well, that kid, Ben Wang, he was in that Disney show where they did karate all the time.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Where's he from?
I also, there was this, this trailer hit for me too.
Yeah.
There was the line, like, you see it's like Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and then they go introducing Ben Wang. I liked that for some reason. Yeah. I liked that they were like, this is his debut on the big screen.
He was an American-born Chinese.
Yeah.
That was on the Disney Channel.
I also like the line where, I don't know how it's going to make any sense, but I like the line where Han, Jackie Chan's character, goes, what you meant to Miyagi is what Lee means to me.
Yes, that's great also.
And I don't know how they're even like, because
how does he even know that?
I watched the Karate Kid. We can talk about that later.
Yes.
And I mean, that movie, when it was made, and you can tell, was not made with the intent to connect these two universes.
You could just fucking write something that he's known about him. We didn't know something in his past. Look, we've learned all this shit about Miyagi's past.
Yeah, but it's not going to ring right. I don't think so.
They just got to write some shit to get him over there. Maybe accidentally he finds out. Maybe he's known this whole time and forgot. I don't know. So we'll talk about it. You watched that 2010 Karate Kid.
Like, do you think that what was that thing, the competition called?
The Sakai Takai.
Yeah, do you think that's involved? Maybe they met in the Sakai Takai.
Couple of things. First, the movie does make me want to go. I never watched the 2010 Karate Kid, and now I have to watch it. I need to be caught up on Han and what happened there. And do we think they are going to, I don't think there's going to be anything, but could they possibly drop any hints in the series finale of Cobra Kai still to come out 5 episodes? I doubt it. I don't think they're going to.
I have my doubts.
But like, what if Jackie Chan shows up at the end? No, it's 3 years later. I don't know. I don't know. It is. I was taking like a big step back, big picture. And there's a lot of 80s movies that have become franchises, but it Karate Kid's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Original Karate Kid and Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that this whole thing has become a franchise.
Can you believe this 40 years later, it's still Ralph Macchio. It's still happening. It's still going. But I feel like he said he wants this to be, it should be standalone-y kind of, right? You shouldn't have to watch Cobra Kai, obviously.
No.
To get into this. So I think it'll be largely standalone in New York. I'm there May 30th. I can't believe they threw this movie together so quickly. Okay, continuing on, I got a couple bits of news about some big name filmmakers and big name cast and their next projects that should or should not get you hyped. The first one is the Russo brothers' next movie. It's called The Electric State.
Not The Electric Slide?
Not The Electric Slide and not The Electric Company. Love that show when I was a kid. It had Spider-Man on it. The Electric State. This is a Netflix film coming out March 14th. Here's where it gets crazy. It is written by Christopher Marcus, Stephen McFeely, and this another dude, Simon Stollenhag. But you have the Russo brothers. You got Marcus and McFeely starring in this movie. Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown, Woody Harrelson, Ke Huy Quan, and reportedly, Alan Tudyk's also in this. The budget, Stanley Tucci, the budget of this movie, $320 million.
Oh, shit.
For a Netflix movie. And there is a trailer, and I had you guys watch the trailer. Anthony, I'm going to start with you this time. Did this trailer, what'd you think?
It looks all right.
What is it about to you?
At first, I go and I've seen this movie. It's called Terminator.
Yeah, baby.
Then, what is it about? It's about these bots or robots that were part of society that stopped doing the things they were supposed to do, maybe turned on their masters, and they got sequestered to a dead zone.
The electric
basically.
state. Yeah.
The electric state. And then we realize that some of these robots have some sort of humanity, and there's these guys going on a mission to save someone within that electric state. It looks like it looked all right. It didn't look terrible. It looked pretty. If I'm being honest, it looked like pretty middle of the road Netflix type stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't really offended by it.
Yeah.
But 320 million. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily offended by it or anything like that. I wasn't super. There was a little bit of intrigue. I was like, oh, this might be all right. I might watch this if there's good reviews. So that's my initial thought.
Holly Hunter also in this. Rugs. There's some goofy looking robots. This to me, I'm with Anthony for all those names and that money. I was like, okay, this kind of looks like just an okay Netflix movie.
I mean, we've had The Creator, we've had Terminator, we've had iRobot, we've had fucking a million movies about AI. The movie with the little kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've had a lot of movies about this. And I like movies about robots and, you know, whether they're sentient or not and whether they deserve to live or not. So those are always fun. But I just, these giant headed things,
I know,
they're doing that. That's an obvious thing because they want to stand out.
Yeah. Make it different.
So they want to make, how do we make this movie look different? We're going to have these giant robots with giant heads.
But it looks like they're all from like amusement park robots or some shit.
Something like that. But
Marcus McFeely, Russo brothers, I'm expecting a little bit.
It could have some heart there, but
yeah.
I can't stand Millie Bobby Brown anymore.
So, you know what? Millie Bobby Brown's career is so interesting because she is like Netflix's like cash cow there. She's been relegated. She could have been like a movie star by now.
I don't
She's
think
a household name. Maybe not, but she's just doing mostly Netflix movies and TV shows.
I don't feel like she's like the next thing. I feel like she has her little pocket and that's it.
And that's it.
You know?
So Chris Pratt also kind of doing these some of these streamer movies. He did a lot for Amazon and for Netflix. He's had a couple of things. So
he likes money.
Yeah, I guess the paycheck's good. Paycheck's good. So
the check's still cash.
Yeah.
I mean, the Guardians is over. He's got to find something to do.
Yeah.
Well, when you were saying though the Russo brothers and all that, are they directing it?
They're directing it. Yeah.
I mean, they haven't had a very good track record outside of Marvel stuff.
That's why they're back for Doomsday. They're like, we know this is going to be good. $320 million. $320 million.
That's an embarrassing amount.
Fucking Netflix movie. How are you making this money back?
Why would you spend that?
Why would you spend that much?
Zack Snyder?
How much is the cast getting? But like, yeah, it's just, and like for something that you can't sell tickets to, really, I don't know. Netflix just has this fucking rolling in it, I guess. But crazy cast. We'll see. This doesn't look great. Finally, let's talk about another big guy that everybody's been anticipating his next move, and that's Mr. Christopher Nolan. He's been quietly putting together a cast for his next film that has a date, July 17, 2026. Nobody, for the longest time, nobody knew what this is. Today he has released what he's doing. Let me just show you this cast that he's assembled so far that everyone's speculating. In this movie, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, and Charlize Theron. In the next Chris Nolan movie, following up Oppenheimer, he is going to be adapting the Odyssey. Yes, that is Homer's epic Greek poem, The Odyssey. Apparently using new IMAX film technology, calling this an action epic. If you are not aware, Rugs, I feel like you know your Greek poems. What's the Odyssey about? Follows Odysseus's journey. Rugs, do you know what the Odyssey is about? What kind of things we might see in there?
Odysseus is coming home, and he's been at war in the Trojan War, and he's coming back trying to get home, but he fucked with so many. He's got like so much hubris. He fucks with people. He killed the Cyclops.
Oh shit.
And the Cyclops is the son of Poseidon. So Poseidon's pissed at him and won't let him get home. He's the master of the seas. He's got to sail home. So he's always like Poseidon's always like crashing him on these islands. He gets there's a nymph that like fucks his brains out.
This where
won't let him leave.
He also, this is where he comes across the sirens, right?
I think that you're talking about Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, that's the Argonauts.
But there's the Lotus Eaters here. There's
Circe's in this.
Yes, there's sea monsters.
Wow.
So basically, he's got to get back to Ithaca, where he's from.
Yeah.
But now, since he's been gone all this time, and his wife is like, they want all these suitors want to marry because they become king.
Oh.
So she's trying to like keep these guys off of her and like these guys at bay for like years so she could save herself for her husband because he knows that Odysseus is a badass, is going to return for her. So then he shows up finally after this whole Odyssey is over, and he has to fucking beat the fuck out of all of these guys that want to fuck his wife.
Penelope is his wife, yeah.
Yeah. So and his son is trying to help his son is grown and trying to find out how to get his dad back. And there's a lot of conversations between Zeus and Athena.
This
and
is
Athena like disguises herself.
It's like the original epic adventure. Really, I think that a lot of stories have been inspired from. Anthony, what do you think about this? Ambitious? Does it get you excited? This is kind of crazy with this cast.
I don't know shit about the Oedipus complex. What is it?
No, that's
Odyssey.
That's different. Homer's Odyssey. It's Homer.
The guy,
Homer.
That's where the son wants to fuck his mom.
That's right. Kill your dad, fuck your mom.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That is also Greek, but
That is Greek. No, this is Homer Simpson's Odyssey.
As they say, as Robert De Niro says, and Analyze This, fucking Greeks. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, anything Nolan does is always going to have intrigue around it, and then he always has awesome casts. This movie will probably be about 5.5 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
And the music will drown out some parts of the audio, but other than that, it'll be great.
You won't be able to. Can you turn the subtitles on?
Jesus Christ! Can you just turn down the music?
Why is the music so loud, Nolan? It's. I mean, I love this because like he went from Oppenheimer, which was very talky movie, really good, great drama, to now just epic action adventure, big IMAX screen. Holy shit!
you want to know what the nymph's name that fucks his brains out is?
What is it?
Calypso.
Oh, Calypso, not Calypso. With the tarot cards and the serum?
No. Hopefully it's not the same Calypso.
Interesting. I guess, has he done like a period piece before?
But this is I mean, if he pulls this off, this is a ballsy move. If he pulls this off.
This is like something like Ridley Scott would do back in his prime.
Yeah.
I don't even think he would attempt it. There's a lot of CG, and this is a very fantastic Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's like there's like monsters, there's fucking cyclopses, there's all kinds of shit.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how realistic he makes it or grounded, or is there just big fucking kaiju in this? That's kind of cool.
It could be awesome.
Yeah. And the cast is nuts. So that's our next big Chris Nolan movie. Get ready, 2026.
Wow.
Maybe he'll make the Iliad next, but whatever.
Oh, he could do all the Greek poems.
That's Jason and the Argonauts.
That's Jason and the Argonauts. Those are all fucking great stories too. Really, just like the straight stories. These are your original adventures. All right, let's take a break here. We're gonna play some promos. We're gonna come back and talk about how they did Kevin McAllister dirty in Home Alone. Right after this.
After the
messages. We'll be right back.
What's up? This is Brian, and I'm the host of Citizens of Pawnee, a Parks and Recreation podcast. That's right, a podcast dedicated to my favorite TV show, Parks and Rec. Every week I discuss my favorite things about the show, which include character breakdowns, episode rewatches, and other random facts and tidbits about the show. You can find me on Instagram at Citizens of Pawnee Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcast now. You will literally love it.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what the Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy this show, this is a really good time to join our fan club over on Patreon. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
There's a link in the episode description. You can sign up, give back on a monthly or annual basis, support the show, and you get benefits like access to a podcast feed, an exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. There are instant reactions, out of the theater reactions, bonus movie reviews, and other content. For example, this week, several movie reviews went up from Ruggs and Anthony. And Anthony, big news. Jock Talk is back. What?
Yeah. The fuck?
What?
Yeah, we did meet Sir Chasington Hubbard is still alive.
You remember Chaz?
Their bottom is very weak.
Remember Chaz?
That's Chaz. And we did a Jock Talk. We talked a lot of college football for about an hour. So if you're into college football,
That's an hour long bonus. Wow.
Yeah.
hour long. If you're into college football, all two of you, I know Jose Ibarra is into it, so he'll probably listen. We did a Jock Talk.
It's essentially our spin-off sports show for the jocks. That's comes out whenever they want it to come out, which is the beauty of it.
Exactly.
So yeah, and you guys,
inconsistency.
it doesn't matter.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes. Probably there'll be something you don't know. Got to sign up, find out. You can also do stuff like join us for our monthly Discord hangouts, which are just for our Patreon members. We just had one last week. Lots of fun. Everybody was there. We had fun talking about the Superman trailer. The next one will be Thursday, January 23rd. Sign up. You can pick a movie for us to watch and review. There's a tier where you get an exclusive t-shirt. We will talk about all the bonus movie reviews posted in the What Are We Watching a little bit later. But there's a lot of value. Check it out, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. All right, let's get into this week's review. This show is posting right on Christmas this year. It falls in the middle of the week.
Wow.
I didn't plan it that way. We just released on Wednesday. Christmas gets to be. So we're like, let's do a holiday movie. And Anthony, you picked Home Alone.
Home Alone.
And I was down, and we'll talk about this, but here are your spoilers for a 34-year-old movie. Can't really spoil it.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
I feel like this was inevitable. I'm surprised it took us this long to do this because I've known for almost 10 years now how much, and because of this show, I learned how much you love this movie, and it's as much as I love this movie. And
That's right.
Yes, and I didn't think anybody else was like so into this movie. So this will be fun. I'm excited.
It's a classic.
It is an instant classic.
You gotta do.
It's
Home Alone.
Alzheimer's.
It's an old timer. I mean,
It's
old-timer.
It's an Alzheimer's. This movie actually launches a franchise that consists of 6 movies.
Wow.
And really, only the first 2 that have Macaulay should count. And there's another kid, and then there's some straight direct-to-TV. I haven't seen any of those. But there's also video games and books and tons of merchandise. Launches a huge franchise. Originally released November 16, 1990. On the Rotten Tomatoes, it is holding a 66% tomato meter. And all of those critics can just fuck right off.
66%?
Yeah, it's way too low. Come on. I don't know what's
I don't know about that.
Fuck these Rotten Tomatoes critics. 80% audience score. It's better. The movie was made for $18 million. and ends up making worldwide $476 million.
Oh, shit.
It made 285 domestic. It was number one for 12 weeks in a row. It was also the top grossing live action comedy for like 27 years. It held the Guinness World Record for highest grossing live action comedy. It's the second or third highest film of 1990. Anthony, what we got that year, 1990? What were some of those box office?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't think of doing that. Give me one moment.
I got
please.
the link right there. You just got to click it.
Well, now I'm
All right.
doing it the old fashioned way.
Do
So
it your own way.
1990?
Yes.
Oh, wow. 1990. Let's go with 1990. Top 10 movies of that year, and then we'll do some notables. So number 1, Ghost.
Oh, a dead man making clay pottery.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
And
Clay
what's her
Boner.
name?
Clay Boner. Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. That's
Substance.
right.
She's in the Substance.
Number 2, Pretty Woman.
Wow. Yeah.
Debatable.
Julia Roberts, Richard Gere made a lot of money.
He's debatable.
Debatable.
I mean, she's all right.
3, Home Alone.
Nice.
4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
That should have been the number one movie.
We've reviewed that one too. That was fun.
I'm kidding.
Still holds up.
5, The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Alec
that's a sleeper.
Baldwin. It's Jack Ryan.
6, Total Recall.
Fuck yeah.
Get your ass to Mars.
Consider this a divorce.
7, Die Hard 2.
How can the same thing happen to the same guy twice?
All right, I hope you have a quote from this one. Number 8, Driving Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy, I gotta drive you. I think he says that at some point.
I'll accept that one.
I'll believe it. Yeah, that's believable enough. Number 9, Dick Tracy.
Oh, best line in this movie. Robert De Niro as the bad guy goes, mind if I call you Dick? It's so good. It's the funniest line. Madonna, Warren Beatty, crazy movie.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
10, Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, that's a good one. The Wild West one.
Other notables from that year for us, you had Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Another 48 Hours.
Oh.
Terrible movie. Hard to Kill.
Oh, shit.
From Steven Seagal. RoboCop 2.
Oh, that is not a good movie.
Rocky 5.
Oh, shit.
The Little Mermaid. Misery.
Wow.
Goodfellas.
One of the best movies ever made.
Shit, Goodfellas.
Predator 2. Kindergarten Cop. Godfather Part 3.
That's not good.
Back to the Future. No, and Back to the Future 2 as well.
Dark Man also came out. Great movie.
Dark Man.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands, Flatliners. 1990. Solid year.
A lot of movies.
Solid year. This one, though, coming in number 3, top grossing, did really well. This movie is directed by Chris Columbus and written and produced by John Hughes. Great team.
Jesus, look at all these movies. Not one of them is a fucking sequel. I mean, actually,
Right? There's a couple, but nothing
no.
like this year where every fucking movie has a number.
It's become a different.
Yeah.
The sequels
There's
were
a
coming out.
Forbidden Dance movie and Lambada came out.
Oh, yeah. Remember when that happens and you get two movies of the same thing?
Yeah.
Lambada and Forbidden Dance. Anyways, Chris Columbus, John Hughes, got two guys who John Hughes especially, ruled the 80s teen movie scene, starring a 10-year-old adorable Macaulay Culkin. That's Kevin McAllister. You got
another Christmas movie that came out this year, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Another classic.
In fact, Chris Columbus was signed on to direct National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Sorry. No, that was actually 1989.
That was the year before.
I'm reading it wrong.
So the way Chris Columbus gets this job is he was working on that movie and did not get along with Chevy Chase, who is a known notorious asshole, apparently.
So then he left the project. And then he discovered America.
And then he discovers America and goes, I'm going to make a movie about a kid left at home. That's how he gets this job.
Sorry. I did this all fucked up.
Yeah.
I looked at the calendar releases.
Instead
if
of
you look at the total gross from a movie that was released in 1990, but that incorporates 89 or excuse me, 91.
Yeah.
Home Alone is number 1.
Home Alone, yeah, because it went to like
85.
February. Like it was
Home Alone was 1. I'll just do it real quick. Home Alone was 1.
Wow.
Ghost 2. Dances with Wolves 3. Pretty Women 4.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 5. Hunt for Red October 6. Total Recall 7. Die Hard 2. 8. Dick Tracy 9. And Kindergarten Cop 10.
Yeah.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
Who is your daddy?
But a lot of other movies came out that year.
Yeah, that was a big year, but Home Alone,
including Navy SEALs.
Oh God!
Oh my God! Remember that movie?
Melodi's favorite movie.
Melodi's favorite movie of all time.
Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, of course, as Harry. Daniel Stern as Marv. The late John Hurd as Father Peter McAllister. The hilarious Catherine O'Hara, Kate McAllister, who we've seen in Beetlejuice and on Schitt's Creek. And then you got John Candy cameo as Gus Polinski and a bunch of other character actors like Larry Hankin. A lot of guys that have been on Seinfeld later that decade. And Kieran Culkin, Macaulay's brother, also joining him. And Devin Ratteray as Buzz. All right, look. This movie's rated PG, 1 hour and 43. Anthony, let's start with this. I'm sure I feel like everybody's seen it, but what happens in Home Alone?
Home Alone is about a child that hates his family, and they're going to Paris for Christmas. And the night before they go to Paris, he gets into a fight with his family and wishes that his family would disappear. And they forget him. They forget him at home. Oh, no. So he is home alone. And while he is home alone, there are burglars that are ransacking the entire neighborhood during Christmas. And they know that his family is gone. And the child, who's about, 7, maybe?
He's supposed to be 8, I guess. Or
yeah. Has to protect his house from these burglars that are trying to steal everything on Christmas.
Yeah. And the film, of course, shot a lot of on location in affluent suburban Chicago, Winnetka, Wilmette, and the interiors were set in New Trier High School gymnasium.
That's correct. That you learned about that on the
movies that made us. Yes,
on Netflix,
and actually shot at O'Hare Airport too, which is kind of crazy. But I know that terminal. The terminal is great, and every time I'm in there, I just want to run and I want to hear Christmas music. It's great. Let's start with this, Anthony. What is your relationship, your history with this movie? Why is it so beloved to you?
I mean, this is a movie I grew up with. As a kid, I saw this movie all the time. I remember as a kid, my family used to think I looked like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, get out.
I don't have blonde hair.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He's adorable.
I used to get that, but I used to watch this one and Home Alone 2 all the time.
Yeah.
And anytime I could watch it, I would throw it on. Christmas, definitely throw it on. As an adult, obviously haven't watched it as much, but it's one of those movies for me that you watch a movie as a kid and you connect with it, and it's a movie that I just connected with from an early stage, similar to like watching Godzilla as a kid or watching the X-Men or Batman or any sort of movies, or Sylvester Stallone bang Sharon Stone in a shower. Like these are type of things that you just ingrained with you as a kid.
And the Demolition Man. What was that?
That movie was that. I don't remember what the movie
was. The Detonator? I don't know, some kind of a...
Yeah, it was a really bad movie. But I vividly remember watching that as a kid and being like, oh my goodness. When you watch things as a kid, they imprint in you.
Yeah.
And Home Alone is definitely a movie that's been imprinted in my psyche forever. And we can talk about where it stands as far as all-time Christmas movies, but definitely a very close relationship with Home Alone.
And when I heard that, it was crazy because I did not know that about you. And I have kind of the same. And I wasn't even a kid. I was like 14 when this came out. But this thing sold 11 million VHS copies. Everybody had a copy of this tape. And me and my sister would watch the shit out of it. We'd watch it every year. We could do every line. There was something about this that just, it was an instant classic. And I've seen this, and I can still do every line. I've seen this movie so many times. And it is probably one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time to me. Ruggs, what's your history with this movie?
By the way, that Sylvester Stallone movie with Sharon Stone is The Specialist.
Oh, The Specialist. That's right. That was bad.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I have no relationship to this movie. I was a little old to watch it when it came out. I believe I didn't see it, never saw it in its entirety. Not that it wasn't on its entirety. I lost interest at a certain point in time. And then I remember like seeing the opening where he gets home alone. And then when the robbers try to take the house and he does the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then everything in the middle, I forgot or didn't pay attention to, never paid attention to.
I think this movie is also interesting watching it as a kid and watching it as an adult. I do want to find out if it hits differently. But I got to mention John Williams doing the score that has a great theme.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like the whole movie is based, a lot of it is Macaulay turns in an incredible, adorable performance. Like, he's really good. There's so many little moments and little lines, like almost every few seconds in this movie that just make me laugh. And I remember, what is it? It's enduring nature. I feel like it still holds up. It's pretty timeless. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, Macaulay Culkin is really adorable in the movie. He's quite charming. He, for a child actor that's playing somewhat of a little rat, little jerk,
little piece of shit
in the beginning.
Yeah,
a little piece of shit. He makes you enjoy him. I like how he tries to play off like he's an adult and interacts with people.
Yeah.
Is this toothbrush?
The scenes are great.
Approved by the American Dental Association. Like, or even when he has that nice little conversation with the
girl at the grocery.
Guy.
Old man Marley. Yeah,
old man Marley, and they have their conversation, and he's still talking like a child.
Yeah,
but they're like having almost, it seems like a real interaction where he's talking like a child but making good points, and then the adult is talking to him and talking to him kind of like a child, but then also displaying some real things, and then the part where they go like, nice talking to you, and it's just like the whole thing is like very poignant. He's really good. Pesci and fucking Daniel Stern are fucking hilarious.
They are so funny. Great
and it's like modern Three Stooges comedy.
Yeah.
Where they're getting hit in the face with shit that should like kill you, and it doesn't really do anything. So like the whole protecting the house and all that stuff, like all of that works. I just, every time, even watching it as an adult, I laugh every time at some of the visuals. It's very visual, but there's a lot of like really poignant stuff with him and the old man Marley. So they just, it's a John Hughes wrote it, right? It's a John Hughes movie, so it's not surprising that he's able to weave in these different things. And I think it starts with John Hughes and Macaulay Culkin and goes from there as far as why it.
Then you add the John Williams and the setting.
I mean, it's literally they have everything you can have to make a kiddie Christmas movie, like elevate it.
Ruggs, what are some of your favorite moments? Did you connect more watching this movie as an adult?
No, I'm kind of mad that I didn't see it as a kid, because I think I would have really liked it as a kid, because it's like everything that you want when you're a little kid. You want to be like, you want to tell your mom to fuck off.
He says some ballsy shit to his mom, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. She's like, I don't care if I never see any of you again.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
So he tells his mom to fuck off.
Yes.
And then he gets to be home alone, and he gets to look at Playboy magazine.
That is hilarious. But I love that whole scene in Bus's room.
And I would have loved to see that as a kid, and I missed it. It just passed me by, and I forced myself to watch it. Not like forced, but I was kind of like, all right, I know what this movie is. I'm not going to be surprised. But you know what? It is a good movie. There's a reason it's a classic. It does have lots of things going for it. And I don't know why he never goes to the cops, or the cops never fucking come. But like,
well, I'll tell you what, though.
He goes shopping, but like
he goes shopping, and he could have.
I understand this stuff has to happen for the movie to happen. So
you know what, John Hughes though plugged a lot of plot holes in this movie. You can tell he tried really hard to cover all the bases, and you can poke some holes, but largely a lot. Because I was like, is Kate a bad mom? But
he literally interacts with so many adults. He could be like, listen, after he knows people are going to rob the house, he says nothing because he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
he wants to defend the house.
Yeah, he wants to. I think I chalk that up as he thinks of himself as an adult.
Yeah.
And he wants to be he's still battling with that, but he thinks he has to be the man of the house.
Right. It's my house. I have to protect it.
That whole line where he runs back and says, my house. I have to protect it.
Yeah. So look, starting with the head count scene, brilliantly done. The annoying next door neighbor. Check it. He's like going through their bags. This fucking kid from
Does this car have good gas mileage?
Yes, he's asking ridiculous questions.
He's annoying the shit
Mitch
out of the
Murphy from next door,
and they hit the lawn jockey too.
Oh, everybody hits the lawn jockey. That's a great gag. That's a great gag.
But I forgot in rewatching this while you're talking about, I forgot that the power goes out, which is why they get all fucked up.
Yes,
and they're scrambling.
It's when, and I love that one. She's like, Peter, we slept in. And the whole time
they both get out and yell at the same time. We slept in.
It's so good. So the head count gets fucked up because of Mitch Murphy. You'll notice in the whole scene before the incident that caused this, the pizza scene, the fact that Buzz ate his what an asshole. Buzz knows there's one cheese pizza and it's for Kevin, and he just ate all of it, and they spill milk over everything. If you notice, his father accidentally throws away Kevin's passport and ticket. So that means when they get to the airport, he wouldn't have known that Kevin
throw that away?
You could see it in that shot. So when they get to the airport, there wouldn't have been any red flags there. They had everybody's ticket. And then the power goes out, so you can't call the cops. But he does eventually call the cops on that second day. Maybe it went back on.
Yeah, what was his plan there?
I don't know. That was weird. Throughout the assault,
he was going to lead them to that place that's flooded, and then the cops were going to come
across the street.
Oh yeah, he was saying that that house was being robbed, and he was going to lead the cops there.
He called in that house
because he didn't want the cops to come to his house because he didn't want his family to think there was any trouble at the house.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, but he had no plan once he got there. He just was like, I guess he's going to try to
chase me through the basement, and
the cops will be there.
And I'll lock him in or something. Yeah. But they established so many things well, like Old Man Marley, which he wasn't in the original script, but this whole character and that scene in the church is touching. And of course, Marley comes in for the
scene in the church. It's much more as an adult,
dude. I legit teared up again watching that scene between them when Kevin's giving him. No, when I teared up is at the end when he sees Old Man Marley and it's snowing and he's there with his family and he's hugging his granddaughter and they make eye contact. I fucking teared up there because
I love that,
so
that church scene, that conversation, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
it's so well done because again, Old Man Marley's talking like an adult, but treating him like respecting him, but also, giving him advice. And Macaulay Culkin's character is talking to him and giving him advice, but in a childish way.
Yeah.
Where they're interacting and it's in line with both of who they are. It's not like this force where now Macaulay Culkin's all of a sudden aged up to talk to him like an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that where he mentions the furnace and how he kind of conquers. And I love that just little bit of imagination peeking in the whole furnace monster thing. And then he's just like, shut up. And he gets over it and he uses that. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, call your son. Like he's giving him really solid advice. And it's so tight. You also notice Old Man Marley's hand, there's a wound on it. And then when he's buying the toothbrush, there's like a bloody bandage, right? It's scary. But by the church scene, there's just like a Band-Aid. Like his wound is healing, like his relationship is healing with Kevin. I'd be so annoyed. I'd be like, you guys don't have to fucking run and scream for me every time. What's up, you stupid kids? Here's a great story. So there's this guy at work I hired. He's been working there like a year and a half. Real good guy. We're randomly talking about Home Alone.
Where the hell is this going?
No. Watch this is great. Randomly talk about how great Home Alone is, as I do every so often. And he goes, "Oh, you know the cop that goes to their house, the guy who's like, there's no one here. The house is secure. Tell her to count her kids again." He goes, "That's my grandfather." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's in the second movie too." I'm like, "How did that happen?" He goes, "Oh, my uncle directed the movie."
Oh,
I said, "Your uncle is Chris Columbus?" He goes, "Yeah. When he was a kid, he flew to London for like the Harry Potter premieres. His uncle, this dude, and he just I'm like, you're telling me this now? I had no idea." He's like, "My uncle, his uncle is Chris Columbus." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." So that was just wild. And I can't believe I just found out I know this dude for like a year and a half. I would lead with that. "Hi, how you doing? My uncle directed Home Alone. Nice to meet you."
Wow.
But what else? Some favorite parts? I mean,
I just like when the guys get hit with stuff.
Okay, let's talk about
their
this.
reactions are
I mean, you can't talk about favorite stuff without talking about that.
Let's talk about the whole assault, because
Well, before even that, though, if we're talking about favorite stuff before we get to that, because I think that you got to talk about that as its own thing.
Yeah.
I even love when after the church, when he runs towards the house and the music starts swelling up and he comes in and he's like, I got to protect it and like gears up. That to me, you're going to laugh. And I'm being a little bit facetious, but not really. That to me is like freaking Schwarzenegger.
I knew you were going to go
Stallone
there. Yes.
Gearing up with guns and shit.
Yes.
Like him gearing up the house. I get pumped up for that.
I knew you were going to go there, and I totally get it. The montage of him with the blueprint and ornaments is spelled wrong, and him setting all the traps up. The music is great.
It's like he's gearing up the fucking house. I'm like, he's ready for war.
Yeah, he's like, bring it on. No, I love that. There's some smart things, there's some cartoony things, but this assault, like any one of these injuries would have put him in the hospital or killed him. Which is hilarious, and none of it happens.
They would have been dead so many times.
Let's start with the BB gun.
Like the iron would have just.
Well, first BB gun to the groin and head is
that's great.
Is great, and it's hilarious. And he pops up. He's like, "Hello," and then him.
Well, the BB gun to the nuts.
Yeah,
right off the bat, the BB gun to the nuts, and you get Joe Pesci's reaction. Yes! Where he's like, and he's just like the way his face looks and the way he wants to start swearing but can't. Well, he's so good.
I love how he swears like Yosemite Sam from the Looney Tunes. He's just like Reggie. There is a shit in the movie. Marv says it when he drops his shoe in the doggy door. You hear him go shit. And he grabs it, which is really funny. So BB gun first, and then he ices down the concrete, and this whole sequence. These stuntmen are doing these incredible fucking falls, and they look like it really hurts every time, repeatedly, as Marv slides down to the basement and Harry can't get up the stairs. Is fucking hilarious. And then Harry finally gets up the stairs and burns his hand on the doorknob, leaving a mark like the dude from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Nazi, who found the medallion. And another fall down the stairs. That's crazy. And then Marv gets in, pulls the light string.
Wait, did you even? I might have missed this.
Yeah.
Did you get in when Marv sticks his head through the doggy door?
Well, that's
shot right.
Yeah, that's the BB gun. So it goes BB gun to the groin. Then Marv sticks his head in and gets one right in. Dude, he could have taken his eye out. Like that could have been really bad.
I still think that the iron falling on his face would have killed him.
He pulls the light.
That first thing.
It would have cracked his skull or broken like some orbital bones at least. There would have been
in Home Alone 2, he throws bricks from the top of a 3-4 story building and hit him in the head.
Both things leave an imprint on his face, but he's fine. But the iron imprint on his face is so fucking funny. It's so cartoony. Yeah, that one's great. So Marv gets the iron to the head. And then he up the stairs are some treacherous things like tar. He loses his shoes and socks and then steps on a nail. And to this day, I still can't watch that scene. It makes me wince. But apparently it was like a rubber nail that he just pushed out. But I was like, oh my God. You notice these guys never look down before they put their feet down wherever they're stepping. They're just like, whatever. It should be fine. Harry finally enters the kitchen, gets a blowtorch to the head for
his reaction on that one too is so good.
And it's like at least 45 seconds to a minute of blowtorch to the head. That would have melted his fucking skin off to the skull. Like the skull would have been exposed, but you just got to dunk your head in snow. You're fine. And then Harry busts in and gets tarred and feathered like in a cartoon. Hilarious.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Bryce.
no. I love that. And then I just love the next. And that's when Marv sees the window and climbs in, doesn't look down, and gets a bunch of ornaments to his bare feet.
That scene doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
But
that only works
because Joe Pesci's character already broke in the door. So he would have left that open, and Marv could have just followed him in.
Yes, timing-wise, I noticed that. I was like, Harry just went in there, and Marv goes past him, but he's right there. The door would have been open, or he could have said
when he
something.
steps on the ornaments, and then they meet in the living room. I wrote this down.
Yes.
Where he goes, Marv goes, or Harry goes to Marv. Why the hell did you take your shoes off? And Marv responds with, "Why you dressed like a chicken?"
Why you dressed like a chicken? This is great. This is so great. Joe Pesci has some great shit. Wait, okay, continuing the attack. Then you get So him stepping on the ornaments, like that's the homemade ornaments with Kevin's dad's good fish hooks. I can't make ornaments on the old one. They got fish cuts on them. But that only works because he's barefoot. So that was very convenient. That worked out. Then we get the great Micro Machines trip and fall. Great idea. Always have little cars on the floor. And then you get the great, you guys give up or you're thirsty for more, which was an improvised line. You get paint cans to the head. That again, that's concussion. Harry has lost his gold tooth at this point, and this is when Kevin calls the cops and says, "This is Murphy." Which
Marv points out to him, you're missing some teeth, and that really pisses him off.
He's like, "I'm gonna kill this kid. Come on, kill him." Yeah, I mean that's the gold tooth. That's expensive for a cat burglar. You want that? And so when he goes, "This is Murphy," I always think of RoboCop for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
So then they go upstairs. There's the tripwire. Harry goes down. Marv grabs Kevin's leg, and here we have the tarantula moment. Now this tarantula is set up so great.
Yeah, the tarantula's crawling around the entire movie.
They introduce him in the beginning. Buzz talks about how he fed him a bunch of mice guts. He'll be fine. When Kevin climbs up to get the money, it falls. The tarantula is loose, and then you see shots of the tarantula every so often. Setting up this tarantula everywhere he is so good. And it's finally on the stairs. And you get the tarantula to the face. And this is a real tarantula. They actually put a real tarantula on his face.
No, well, on the face, but then on Joe Pesci, it's not.
Oh,
real.
on Joe Pesci, it's fake. Because then he throws it up Pesci. And this is great.
No, but you're running through this too quick.
Okay. What are the details?
Daniel Stern's reaction when the tarantula gets on his face and that scream he lets out makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
And then once it's on Joe Pesci and he fucking crowbars him in the stomach.
What are you doing, Marv? Marv, what are you doing? Hold still, Harry. He's like, did I get it? And he's like, how do you like it? And he hits him with the fucking crowbar.
He goes, did I get it?
Did I get it? It was like, what are you doing, Marv? Wait, just to back up, I love Joe Pesci when he's explaining how the lights come on and he's like, 469 gonna go on right about now. And then he's like, wait, okay. And then this one, now. He's like, wait. It's so funny. Funny.
Oh, well, if we're going back to some lines earlier in the movie, I love when Marv sneaks up on the house and Kevin plays Filthy Angels or whatever.
Oh my God, we have to talk about that. Yes,
they have the whole line, and then he runs in. He's like, "Someone beat us to the punch. Someone got blasted in there." He's like, "Snakes." He's like, "He sounded like a snake."
He sounded like a snake. You don't know any snakes. Like someone got blown away. Let's get out of here.
The fact that he's watching this old movie is funny
it's so
too.
Great. Guys, I'm eating garbage and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me. He's just got.
It's a fake old movie too, right? They filmed it just
did
for this
not
movie.
know for years that movie wasn't real. They shot that so perfectly on black and white film that I thought that was a real fucking movie.
I thought so as well.
Keep the change, you filthy animals. When he uses the firecrackers to get the pizza, also he does
I still say that line to this day. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I'm gonna give you till the count of 10 to get you.
When he counts and goes 1, 2, 10.
And then fucking Kevin's laughing along with him. So good. Angels. And then they have a second one in the second one.
He tips the pizza guy 20 cents.
Keep the change. It's like cheapskate.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah. He's like, let me tell you what I'm going to do.
Pizza guy. Oh, man. Sorry. Go ahead.
AC said 10%. Well, AC ain't here no more. Anyways. Okay. So we get that tarantula on the face. The tarantula beating is great. And Kevin set up a little escape route, zip line to the treehouse. That's great. He goes over there, and then they go over, and what's he called?
Oh, wait. No, there's another line there, though.
Yeah.
Where he goes to the treehouse. Marv and Harry look across, and Marv goes, he's calling the cops. And right away, Joe Pesci goes, from a treehouse?
Yes, that's great. It's like, he's not calling from a treehouse. He's like, no, that's what he wants, to go back through his little playpen. So they climb on the rope.
They do something stupid.
Kevin's like, I'm over here, you horse's ass. He's just insulting them. Kevin cuts the rope, slamming them into the house. It's fantastic. And he runs past them. And then he enters the basement. Of course, it's flooded because they're
the sticky bandits.
Yes, I love at the beginning. He's like, what are you laughing at? He's like, you did it again, Dingy. Why you do that? I told you not to do that.
You're sick. You're
sick.
You're really sick.
Sick with the wet bandits, Harry. How are they going to know? And
that line, also the line where Marv goes, Marv says we got to say some of these other lines earlier. Where Marv goes, "Kids are afraid of the dark," and then Harry goes, "You're afraid of the dark too, Marv."
It's great. It's like, I am not. Come on. I love just all the lines in that pizza moment where he's like, "Look what you did, you little jerk." By the way, how about you calling your fucking cousin jerk in front of your nephew? Like, it's not your kid.
The most underrated thing from watching this again was how funny the brother-in-law is.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank. I mean, when they're discussing on the plane that Kevin's gone, he's just like, terrible, just terrible. He's like, well, if it makes you feel any better, I lost my reading glasses.
Yes. No, before that,
he's kind of a dick.
He's tapping the salt and pepper shaker. He's like, Crystal. He's like, put it in your purse. Put it in your purse. Come on. He's stealing the fucking Crystal. He's such a cheapskate.
He takes the shrimp out from the cocktails, and it's that's for the cocktail. He's like serving it up. He's such a he's one of those guys that a cheapskate uncle that you're like never want around because he like just will embellish everything.
Uncle Frank is hilarious.
Go ahead, Rug. I'm sorry, Imran.
I got nothing to say.
I mean, everything like the aftershave moment that Macaulay does. I think he came up with that too, and it becomes
the way
iconic.
he screams into the camera.
Yeah,
the aftershave moments, the moments where he's running around the house and like looks into the camera and screams because he got afraid, or the part where the car almost hits him and he screams right in front of the car.
Yes.
Every time I laugh when he screams.
Yeah, he's just adorable. He's got good timing. And even like little lines. I don't know what it is. His delivery when like they come back and he's like, I did the groceries. He's like, I bought the eggs, milk, and fabric softener. And it's just, I don't know why it's so funny. Also I love when Harry tells Marv, he's like, go check it out. And then Marv just sits there. He goes, now? He's like, no, tomorrow, egghead. Now.
I do, while we're wrapping up that third part, I enjoy when they hang Kevin on the hook.
Yeah, so what's great is they actually finally kind of outsmart him, you know?
Right.
It only goes so far. He was going to run out of luck. And he's
they
like,
hang him, but then it all comes full circle because then Old Man Marley comes in and saves the day.
We're going to do to him what he did to us.
Right. So Old Man Marley saves the day, and then because fucking Harry or Marv is such an idiot with the wet bandit, the cops are like, oh, because I'm paraphrasing, but because you left this calling card, we know that you've robbed every single one of these houses.
And Marv is like, make sure you get it. It's the wet bandits. W-E. And he was like, shut up. And then I even love when the cop touches him. He goes, hands off the head, pal. As he sits in. Like every line Joe Pesci has in this is fucking hilarious. Yes. And then, even the moment where he's waving bye-bye, they get arrested. He goes to sleep. He wakes up. It's snowing. He thinks his mom is there. It's heartbreaking. Nobody's
because he wishes
there.
he goes to the fake ass Santa and wishes that they come back.
That scene also hilarious. But yeah, he starts to miss his family. And
that scene is hilarious because he goes, I know the deal here. Yeah. You're not the real Santa, but you report to him. You work for him.
And then he's like, oh, wait, let me give you something. You can't go away empty-handed. He gives him Tic Tacs. He's like, don't spoil your dinner, kid. And then the car stalls, and that was actually not supposed to happen. The car actually stalled. But when his mom shows up at the end, and at first, he's really mad at her. And then she goes, I'm so sorry. And then instantly turns. It's like, it's so good. And then everybody else shows up. At the end is also great because his dad finds the gold tooth. They wrap that up. Kevin sees Old Man Marley.
I'm going to jump in here and say,
go for it.
I did not like the reunion. I felt like the dad just came in like, oh, you're okay. Like there is no, if your kid's like home alone and you're in another country, you would be fucking tearing your hair out. You'd be like, not unable to fucking compose yourself and come into the house and be like, hey, you're okay. You did it just fine.
I actually agree with you, Ruggs. One of the questions I wrote down was, does Kevin's father actually love him?
No.
No care in the world to help the mom get back there.
No, he's like, yeah, but they took the next
he's
flight.
He's all like, he's probably fine.
Yes. I know. I love when Buzz goes, you know why? This is why nothing's going to happen. And he lists 3 things, and he goes, A, 2, and D.
D, yeah.
It's hilarious.
But Kevin's dad, you're right,
You
Ruggs,
think he
has
would be a
no
little
care
more
in the world
concerned?
for his son.
Also, does Kevin ever tell them what exactly happened? Because he's just like, just hung out.
He's just
hanging around.
He's just hanging around. So
I also couldn't figure out why all the it seemed like all those kids, like half of those kids were just their parents just dropped them off there. Like it's all family, but they're not all
right.
Part of the mothers and dads that are there. Like a couple of those kids just got dropped off.
I don't even know who's related to him.
That's right. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I can't figure out, other than Buzz, I don't know who's actually his brother or sister.
The other girl and the other girl, the older girl. I don't know. There was a lot of kids in this house.
It's a big house.
Fuller is
You
Uncle
feel like
Frank's
you need to have
kid.
4 kids, at least 4 of them.
I don't want to sleep with Fuller. He wets the bed. Fuller,
and then you cut the Fuller and he's drinking the Pepsi.
He's drinking the Pepsi and smiling. It's great. He gets his face smushed by his father. That's Uncle Frank's kid. That's Kieran Culkin. And then it ends great with Buzz go. You hear Buzz just go, Kevin, what did you do in my room? Because you
also have the iconic line that's, I have it on a Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Where he's looking through Buzz's stuff and he goes, Buzz, your girlfriend.
Whoa. So I read that picture was they
Who's that girl?
They felt bad about finding an actual girl to make fun of. It's a boy dressed as a girl. It's like one of the crew's kids. They put him in a wig and a dress.
You couldn't do that anymore either.
Yeah,
so at this point.
Because all those girls are gorgeous.
The other things though that would change. Have you made this today? This is in the age of payphones and address books, no cell phones. Everybody has video now, and you got wireless cameras everywhere, so it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, you could see him, you could talk to him.
The big thing is, I mean, the big question, besides does Kevin's dad actually love him, is these are the worst parents in the world. Right?
Is Kate? I mean,
there's no way in the world you would leave your house without your son.
But they did do everything. They did a head count. They weren't missing a ticket. But how do you not realize with all those kids? And halfway through, I'm like, is Kate a bad mom? And she does say she's a bad
horrible.
mom. Yeah.
Well, like typically in a family dynamic, the youngest kid is usually the most coddled kid, the most cared about kid.
But he was forgotten completely.
Yeah, so that doesn't track. But
the middle kid is always forgotten.
Would have been, yeah,
right. In a big family.
I mean, at some point, you would think. First off, I think you as a mom would at least try to see if your kids were in the cars.
Right. She left it up to the daughter.
Oh yeah, when you go to a place like an airport, like the moms are always looking.
You'd be like, "Is everybody here?" But they were running late.
But then you got to go through the checkpoints.
Yeah, they were running late, and they were running.
I did write down that this is a time and when you could go to the airport
at the last
45 minutes before.
Yeah. You can't do that.
I guess it's like pre 9/11.
It is. Oh, way pre.
Oh, yeah.
Way.
I mean, they wouldn't even gotten through TSA in the amount of time they got through the fucking.
Back then, I remember walking people to the gate and then not getting on a flight.
Yeah, you could go to the gate without a ticket. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, you could. Yeah, I remember doing that too. Can't do that shit anymore.
No, definitely cannot. There is. I'm probably even missing line. Like there's so many lines that I sat there and I was just laughing at, even as an adult.
Everything John Candy says is hilarious. Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest. Did you know
how many records did they sell? It was like 60?
Like 623. She goes, in Chicago? He goes, no, Sheboygan. We're big in Sheboygan. Polka, polka, polka. Yamahuchi polka, aka Kiss Me Polka. No, nothing. And then the story. What is the story he tells? He left his kid at a funeral parlor once.
The whole day.
The whole day. It's not helping. It's not helping her feel better. He's like, I'm going to stop talking about this. He's like, you asked. He goes, you started it. So funny. So John Candy did a favor for Chris Columbus. He said, I get to improvise every line. He shot his scenes in one day, 23 hours, and they paid him $414 for this entire part of the thing.
That's not a lot of money. It's like, what is it, like $2,000 now?
He got paid less. The compromise was he gets to improv every line and just get in there and do his shtick. And like, it's so good. The improv between him. Well, Catherine O'Hara, also a great big improver. So those two were able to do it.
Do you want to go into who almost was going to play Harry and Marv?
Yeah.
Those casting. as Bill Simmons would go, the casting what ifs on this are pretty
What
insane.
are the what ifs there, Anthony?
Don't you? Do you have it in front of you? I actually don't have it in front.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, as
Harry.
Marv.
First,
as Harry.
yes,
Yeah.
They asked him first. He turned it down. Then they offered it to
Can you imagine Robert De Niro in that?
I mean, maybe.
But let me ask you guys this before we do the other. Before Home Alone, was Joe Pesci ever in type movies like this? Because this, as a kid, I always associated Joe Pesci with a comedy.
Do Lethal Weapon? Was I think that was like his. Well, Goodfellas. He's also in Goodfellas, which comes out the same year, which is kind of crazy. But he was comedy in the Lethal Weapon. Was that before
Lethal Weapon?
Oh, that was
2.
later. He's in 4. Was he in 2? He's also
that's
in
when
4.
he debuts in 2.
Oh, and then that's a good point because 2 years later you get My Cousin Vinny, and that's a tour de force comedy performance. And then he's in Lethal Weapon 3. So before Home Alone, he just does Goodfellas, Betsy's Wedding, Lethal Weapon 2. So there's some comedy there.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2. I guess
it would have been Lethal Weapon 2. Oh, he's in Once Upon a Time in America.
He's also Raging Bull.
He's in Easy Money, Rodney Dangerfield. He's in
Raging Bull was way before everything.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's like one of his first few roles. He was in the Moonwalk. That's right. He was in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and Smooth Criminal and as the one character. But
he's 81 now.
So De
Jesus
Niro
Christ.
turns it down. Then they offer it to John Lovitz, who I could also see doing this. But Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are the perfectly cast.
Daniel Stern initially was cast, and then I think he left because they weren't going to pay him enough. So they get, what's his name, Roebuck?
Oh, yeah, they did cast somebody else, and then
It
he
was,
came back.
I'm sorry, it was Daniel Roebuck, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Daniel Stern. Yeah, Daniel Roebuck was hired to replace him
briefly,
and he was on the set for 2 days. And Chris Columbus thought him and Pesci lacked chemistry, so they kicked him out.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, these two are perfect.
Also, Uncle Frank, who played by Jerry Baman, was also written for Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, I could kind of see that too, but I like this Uncle Frank. He's much more hateable.
Oh, he's an ass.
You just hate this fucking Uncle Frank's such an asshole. Also, let's talk about the house. What does this father do? The brother is clearly rich because he paid for them to go to Paris, and you see them in the background briefly. The brother's building is also the one in 2 that he uses. The dad's got
to be a lawyer.
What the fuck does the dad do? Because you know what I love in the age I am now, my late 40s, is house porn. And let me just tell you, this house, it's in Winnetka on Lincoln Avenue. It just sold recently $5.2 million.
The house in and of itself is a character in the movie.
It was a tourist attraction. You can actually drive by it. It is 5 beds, 6 baths, 9,126 square feet. It's a fucking giant house. And you see the exterior and the staircase and a little bit of the main floor is the real house.
That's a big ass house.
It's a huge house.
If the family is really just the mom, the dad, Macaulay Culkin, and Buzz.
No, they have in that family picture, they had like 4 kids.
Do they?
Yeah. When he's holding the family picture.
Well, here's another question.
Yeah.
The movie starts with Harry as a cop.
Yes.
In the house.
Yes. Scoping, casing the joint.
How did he get in the house?
How did he get the cop outfit? Well, he just knocked on the door.
But he's standing there trying to get someone's attention.
Hey, do you live here?
And he's just how did he get in the house?
So I don't know.
Who let him in?
Somebody let him in. He lets the pizza guy in.
He does let the
initially. He's like, your kids, how you doing? Say anything? He's like, a house full of kids. Nobody lives here. And then the gold tooth, tying that together to when Kevin sees the shine on the gold tooth when they almost hit him with the van. They filmed that in reverse.
I don't like the way the kids looked at me.
Yeah. He's like, I tell you something funny. We know that you're in there and that you're all alone. Oh, I love the line. We're getting scammed by a kindergartner. Also great. Oh, how about pizza? A large one-topping pizza. What he said, $12.50 a pie. That's just some good price. I don't think you could get a large pizza for $12.50 these days. Maybe
a whole pie.
Yeah,
$12.50.
Even at Domino's, you can't get a large pizza for $12.50.
What does that cost in New York, Ruggs, or New Jersey?
I would say like at least $18.
At least 18
I'm trying to think
20.
how much that would cost here. Yeah, $20, right? 18 to 20.
At least like $12.50 for a large pizza is pretty good. back in the day.
When Buzz is Buzz like having heartburn in that scene? What's happening?
I don't know. He's pretending to vomit. He's just fucking with him. He's like, ugh.
Is he fucking with him, or is there something happening
He's
there?
like, grab a plate.
No, he's fucking with him. He's
I'm about to puke it up. Grab a plate.
Oh, that's right, because he said you're going to have to get it out of my stomach to eat it.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
Les incompetents.
And then I love when the Buzz is like, is it true French babes don't shave their pits? But they're going, getting ready. There's so many good lines, just so many. Okay, the whole grocery scene where he goes shopping and he's like, are these TV dinners any good? She's like, I don't know. He goes, I'll give him a whirl. And then when she questions him,
when she's questioning him, he's good. He's great.
So good. Oh, he's the army man, and he goes, it's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
And he's like, are you here by yourself? She goes, ma'am, I'm 8 years old. Would I be here by myself? I don't think so.
Where's your mom?
In the
At
car.
Work. Where's your dad?
At work.
Yeah, in the car.
Where do you live? I can't tell you. Why? You're a stranger. So good.
He is. I mean, at this time, Macaulay Culkin, I believe, was one of the bigger stars.
He became
in
as
Hollywood.
big a child star as like Shirley Temple was back in the day. Like this
Really?
kid,
Wow.
Yeah, this kid was everywhere. He emancipated himself. I think when he was 18, he retired at
What
14.
does that mean?
He started hanging out with Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, he did hang out. Emancipated just means he went away from his parents, because I think there was that thing with child actors where the parents were taking all the money. Happened to Gary Coleman. Now, what I love is he had a little bit of issues with some drug problems in the 2000s, but he got over it. And for him to be this huge child star, and right now he's pretty well adjusted. Like, he's got a family, he's got 2 kids, he's married. I've heard some interviews. Like, I want to have a beer.
Rogan.
Yeah, he was on Rogan, and he's.
I mean, he does red letter media all the time.
He seems really cool. Like, I want to hang out with Macaulay. He did recently here at Rosemont Theater. They did a screening of Home Alone, and then there was a Q&A with Macaulay Culkin. I almost bought tickets to go see that.
Well, he had a run from 88 to 94, and then he stopped. He went cold turkey.
Yeah,
for a bit.
he kind of retired.
During that run, he did the Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Uncle Buck was how he got the Home Alone job.
My
He was great in
Girl.
that. My Girl is a great movie, and it's so sad.
It's sad as fuck.
And you don't know
The
that.
Good
going
Son.
in. Good Son is where he swears. He says,
Yeah,
fuck.
and then Richie Rich is also in there.
You know what? Richie Rich was a bomb, but I would have thought he's like perfect for Richie Rich. It must
I
have
like
been
Richie Rich too.
It must have been a bad script. I never saw that.
It's stupid as fuck, but
he stopped acting.
He stopped acting at like 14.
What does he do now for money?
What does he do now?
I think he's back doing something.
Is he directing?
He was on the Righteous Gemstones. He did a couple episodes of American Horror Story.
He's the CEO of a pop culture website called Bunny Ears.
Oh yeah, he does bunny ears, and he's actually like embraced this Home Alone. He's done some fun videos of him still as Kevin. There was that one video where he was like had long hair, he was smoking cigarettes, and he was talking about the abuse he had as a kid. It was like a real. What if Kevin McAllister was really grew up? And he's like, my mom didn't give a shit, and he's all bad. It's kind of funny. But Kieran Culkin also goes on to win lots of Emmys. He's on Succession. He's actually a really good actor too. But the fact that this kid didn't like completely demolish his life after this kind of fame.
Well, most of them do, right?
Yeah. Most of them
the
crash
guy
out.
I'm thinking about that got really fucked. I mean, there's a bunch, but the guy I'm thinking about right away is Furlong.
Eddie Furlong, and he wasn't even an actor. They just fucking plucked him and put him in a movie.
It's back in the day. They plucked you out, and then they just said, "Hey, go figure it out."
Yeah, then they just kick you to the curb, and you just gotta fucking.
And you didn't make any money off of it because all your parents took all the money.
Other details that a lot of people asked in these many years: why is there a doggy door? A lot of people. And that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
They mentioned, though, in the beginning when she's on the phone, they mentioned putting the dog in the kennel. So he's plugged all these plot holes. If you think about it, what I think everything else I already mentioned, and nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Sold
for what?
I think it was Best Score and Best Original Song. So it was mostly John Williams. Sold 11 million. Macaulay Culkin also recently said he almost considered buying the Home Alone house this year when it went on sale. But it's just, this is an all-timer.
I mean, if going into like my closing on this, And me and Imran gushed over this, so sorry, Rug. This is taken over. Yeah, I mean, this movie is an all-time Christmas movie for me. I'm actually going to post in here after we're done. Barstool came up with a holiday movie bracket.
Oh,
but for me, I'll just say right up front, this is the greatest Christmas movie I've ever seen. Not even like technically made, even though it's really well done, but just the way it connects for me and the way again, growing up as a child watching it. But yeah, this movie's awesome. I still laugh at it. It's PG, but I laugh at everything. It's lightning in a bottle in terms of the acting and the whole the bits and all that stuff. I thoroughly still enjoy this movie, and there's certainly even some parts in the movie where I get even a little like, oh wow, that's really cute. Like the whole old man Marley stuff is really nice.
I mean, it gets you in the feels at the end. Here's a question:
this movie, and then Home Alone 2, which is basically a remake of
2 is not bad. It's the same thing.
2 is awesome too.
Yeah,
2. I'll throw that out there. 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
The thing about 2, right? That lady with the pigeon, she's homeless. Kevin, what is he? He brings her like food or something.
Doves. He brings her turtle dove.
Don't you think he could have offered like his hotel room or a place to live, something better for this lady that saved his life? I mean, you had a room, you could have, but he just brought her turtle doves. Yeah, but that one is wild because you have Tim Curry, Rob Schneider, Donald fucking Trump in this movie, and yes, there's that
we'll save the review for a home. Yeah. At some point, we might do Home Alone 2.
But one is a classic. Here's a question I thought of watching this again. Why did they have mannequins in the basement to begin with? Anybody answer me that he uses to set up the party? But I was like, why are there mannequins there? Why?
Oh yeah, that is a good question. Maybe
she's
a fashion designer.
Yeah, we don't know what she does.
No.
That's a good call.
Yeah. And then that classic like Michael Jordan cutout. I remember seeing that everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So it's a
3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah. It's in that one too. That's right.
No, I'm kidding.
Isn't that the cutout of the window?
That was Ted Danson.
But it's like it's so also coming from Chicago. It's so like suburban Chicago, and like John Hughes always knows how to make that feel special, like all those Brat Pack movies from the '80s. So yeah, I think I've been to the drugstore where he steals the toothbrush. You could go there.
Hey, sir, you're going to have to pay for that. Hey,
Jimmy, stop that boy.
Stop, shoplifter.
I'm a criminal. Also, when he's walking home and the bag rips and all his groceries.
Wasn't he already brushing his teeth? What does he need?
No, he said, I couldn't find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out.
Oh, he couldn't find it.
Yeah, he couldn't find it. He's like, what is he?
He lost it packing, I think.
He talks about how he bathes. He's like, and even I forgot what he says, but it's real funny.
Him narrating in the mirror,
narrating what he does, so good. And he does the laundry, and he's doing the dishes. Like he's a good kid. He's a good kid who almost killed these people. All right, final thoughts. Give me a score there, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the final thoughts real quick, but my favorite Christmas movie of all time. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yes. You know what?
There's no other score I would ever give this movie than 10. I could have watched it last night, which I did, and been like, wow, there's 75 plot holes in here, and the acting's really bad. And I would have been like, but I loved it as a kid, and it's awesome.
No, but the acting,
it's not. But that's the problem. That's the thing. It actually doesn't have all.
It doesn't have
plot holes and stuff.
Not a lot. I mean, it's
actually pretty clever for a children's movie.
Holds up. The acting is great. I'm right there with you. It's an all time. I gotta watch this every year. 10 out of 10. This is a fucking damn near perfect movie, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's hilarious.
I'm curious though about Ruggs.
Ruggs, what's the real score? Is it Rotten Tomatoes?
The real score. I mean. Look, you can go and you can make the case that the kid would miss his mom and dad and be scared enough to go talk to like the guy at the church, the million people that he talks to. He goes to the store. He goes everywhere. He could have, like the movie would have been over if
he answered the door when the cop first came and he wasn't scared. The movie would have been over, right?
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of things that happen because they needed to happen for the movie to happen, and that's in every movie. So, but. That's one of the ones that's glaring that like if you are not in the mood for this movie, you're an adult, like you're stuck watching a kid's movie and you're like, why didn't you just fucking tell someone? Like, you know? And so there's that. But I do think that this is a classic film. It's enjoyable for adults and kids. It it does have a lot of that 80s, 90s charm, that John Hughes, Christopher Columbus movie magic that you need. It's got Macaulay Culkin. It's a memorable performance. So I think I would say, like, I was going to say 7.58. Like, that's the real score.
There you go. That's good for Ruggs too.
Wait, here's a question. Now, when you watch it as a kid, you were on Kevin's side. You're rooting for Kevin, obviously. When you watch it as an adult, does anybody sympathize with Harry and Marv at all? This piece of shit kid who's...
No, I don't sympathize with them. I think that he's a dick to his parents, though. But
he's a fucking he's
a dick to his parents.
Yeah.
But they're stealing from people on Christmas and then flooding their house. Yeah, that's like the worst thing you could do.
That? The wet bandits. Yeah, that causes a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for the bad guys.
I just threw in the chat.
Yeah.
So the next question I have, and click on that link.
Yeah, I see it.
Barstool Sports did a bracket of all the all-time Christmas movies. I would love to get both of your opinions on what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Oh, God. I mean, they got Home Alone up against Scrooged there.
Well, this is just a bracket they did, and they did it where it's the classic bracket, the modern faves, animated, and then kind of Christmassy, and then they just played it out from there.
So,
what's your favorite Christmas movie, both of you? 'Cause you already know what mine is.
Aside from Home Alone, I would put Elf up there.
Yeah, I think Elf is my favorite.
Okay, Elf.
A Christmas Story? What about A Christmas Story? Oldie but goodie?
In there. That's in the mix. It's in the top 5.
A Christmas Story is with the leg, right, as a lamp?
Yeah.
Fragile.
That's great.
It must be Italian. I'm starting to think It's a Wonderful Life. Maybe a little overrated. Maybe.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful
Life.
Life.
It's fucking long. It's like 3 hours long.
The Santa Claus movie with Home Improvement guy?
Tim
That
Allen.
one's really good.
Tim Allen. They got Batman Returns on here and Lethal Weapon, which are good Christmas movies.
That
Gremlins
bracket
is a good one.
Gremlins is a good one.
That bracket is kind of Christmassy. You see that?
Yeah.
Where they're saying these are the movies that are tangential Christmas
I haven't
movies.
watched Love Actually in a while.
Oh yeah, people like that with the rom-com.
I think you got some definitely. There's things missing here.
Really? What movies are you thinking of that you would?
There's like the Santa Claus movie, the one about Kris Kringle when he's a puppet. The one that's
the
Santa
animated
Claus
one
is coming to town. That's a good one.
Is that
an animated?
Was that a TV show though? It wasn't a movie.
Was it a TV movie? I don't know. It was like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's like in that whole thing.
Die Hard, of course, is a Christmas movie.
Yes, but I don't really. I don't
consider that a Christmas movie. So
I'm talking about movies about Christmas, about your family.
Just because it happens to take place at Christmas doesn't count.
There's a difference. So
yeah,
the way I distinguish it is there's Christmas movies about Christmas, and then there's movies that are set during Christmas.
Sure. Yes.
Die Hard's set during Christmas, but there's nothing about that movie that's about Christmas.
It's not, but they reference Christmas a lot.
Scrooged is great.
Scrooged is pretty good.
Scrooge is great.
Bill Murray. I haven't seen that in a long time either.
But I feel like that Elf, Scrooged, and Christmas Story, and then you got I would say some of the other
Christmas Vacation. You got to put this.
Christmas Vacation.
Wait, Ruggs. You're not a fan. You're not. I can't believe you're not sticking up for your boy Arnold with Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is a fun movie.
Jingle All the Way is not a terrible Christmas movie either. It does have all the things about you wanting to be there for your family and get your kid the present, but then all the kid wants is his dad. But
right.
But I don't know. I just really think that Elf is great.
I got to rewatch Elf. A lot of people actually say that Elf is their favorite. I mean, I've seen it once, but I don't have the childhood connection to it like I do.
What Elf did is now everybody, when they see Santa, everybody goes, I know him. Like the Santas must get tired of hearing that shit all the time.
It's just so rewatchable.
It's on TV all the time, and it is rewatchable.
It's really rewatchable.
What's your favorite? Like, if we're going and looking at this bracket, and I'm gonna post this in the notes.
Okay.
But what's your favorite of those animated movies? Is there a favorite on there?
I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas is
that's the one that sticks out to me.
Great.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Muppets Christmas Carol is actually pretty good.
I'm gonna go Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The original Rudolph is good too. Yeah. Charlie Brown Christmas Polar.
Because it's about being a misfit, and they got the Bumbles bounce, and you got whatever, Yukon Cornelius.
I would put
Okay.
the original Grinch half an hour animated
Skinny
Grinch,
Santa.
not the movie.
Okay. What about the kind of Christmassy bracket? Which of those do you think is your favorite? Look at that. Rocky 4 is on there
Rocky
too. I didn't
IV,
realize
Edward
that was
Scissorhands,
during Christmas.
Batman Returns.
But I think Gremlins, I would say.
Reindeer Games, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Like
Gremlins.
Lethal Weapon's a great movie, and so is Batman Returns, but I don't know. They're Christmas movies. They take place at Christmas.
Gremlins is about a Christmas present gone wrong.
Is that what it's about? I
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
he buys him fucking Gizmo for Christmas from the Chinese guy. We should review Gremlins. It's a fun movie.
Gremlins is a fucking great movie, and it's still scary.
Yeah,
and it's still kind of like not really scary, but it still holds up.
Yeah.
I'm curious why they put Home Alone 3 as kind of Christmassy when that movie is definitely a Christmas movie. But
aren't they
I didn't create this bracket.
all the Home Alones take place at Christmas? Probably.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
The kind of Christmassy bracket, though, looking at that, those are some banger movies.
Yeah.
You got Die Hard,
Yeah.
Rocky 4,
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah.
Batman Returns, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins.
Yeah.
Reindeer
Games. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know about Reindeer Games, but the top 6 I think are fucking good movies.
Yeah,
in
it's
that
an
kind of
interesting
Christmas.
bracket. I think I would swap out a couple of things, but
I think the winner, I saw it online, and the winner ended up being Home Alone.
it has. See, I think what we've done though is establish.
What is that? What is this Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever?
I don't know. Grumpy Cat. Listen, we have established Home Alone is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Period. That's
Grumpy Cat's
official.
worst- I've never seen Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas
Grumpy
ever.
Cat was this whole thing that was popular for a second. Comics, something. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right.
let's.
Yeah, we movie released or show episode or episode released on Christmas. We got to talk about.
We gotta do Home Alone.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised it took us 9 years to get to this movie, but we did it. Let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Joe Pesci also actually bit Macaulay in rehearsal when they were rehearsing the scene where he's like, I'm going to start
biting his fingers off.
biting all your fingers off. Yeah, he bit him for real. But fucking classic. All right. From Paris. From a treehouse. Anyways, I got comments about the back to Superman trailer. Here's some
Switching gears
back to Superman from our group on Jock and Nation. John Pilati Jr. gave it 4 eggplants. Oh, I guess that's good. He says
that means penis.
yeah, he gave it 4 penises.
4 boners.
4 boners.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got geek boner. I'd say I got a mild geek boner for it right now. I'm not sold. I'm still waiting. He says it looks good and I love the colors, but is also excited when I saw the Man of Steel trailer. We will find out next July if a James Gunn Superman can really fly. I would like to point out that when I saw Peacemaker, I commented in this group that James Gunn should take over the DC film universe. I'm so glad I was right, because if this film is as good as the trailer looks, then we got the start of something amazing. And to think all of this because Disney fired him for fucking decades old tweets. I don't think any of this would have happened had they not done that. Matt Delhauer says Nathan Fillion's wig steals the show. Yes, it does.
I wish it was more red and that less blonde.
Also,
looking.
the bowl cut is comic accurate, but like Guy Gardner has it's a bowl cut, but then it's like a fade.
Yeah, he's got a shaved side.
sides, which kind of makes it look a little bit not as
cooler.
Yes,
it's a little more high too. It's not as low.
Yes.
Did you know that bowl cut is also coming back? They call that cut. I just put it in here.
No.
The Edgar.
No.
It's called the Edgar.
No. That along
Click on
with the
that link.
mustache. Oh God. That is, oh my God, I have seen these. I don't like this with the line. I don't know what it is. There's a line and the
Why
fade.
that's become a thing, but it's called
Even
the Edgar.
girls are doing this.
They're just trying to figure out how to look stupider.
Oh my God,
And then they're
women
just
and
doing
men at the same, what the fuck?
Like, because you want to piss your parents off and look like dumb.
Yeah.
Like, because
You
you're
get the
obviously
bowl cut.
just, yeah. So you're
Ugh,
just,
it's like Bill Skarsgård's
I
hair.
love that they call it I don't know why it's the Edgar, but yeah.
Edgar. It's like Bill Skarsgård's hair in The Crow. Is what the fuck? The line and the yeah. I see this shit all the time. Oh boy, I'm getting old. Daryl K says I'm hyped, so he was hyped. Carlos Phoenix says, "Am I the only one who didn't find this interesting?" Hoping it's good. So there's that. Scott Swangarum says, "I cannot wait for this movie. Absolutely stoked. Wes Cranford says July 11th is too far away. Chris Marin says looks epic. Sebi Ravi says my first impression is that it seems like a mashup of random action scenes without any context. Ideally, a teaser trailer should leave you wanting more and not scratching your head wondering what you're looking at. It seemed like Gunn threw whatever completed scenes he could call together, but with no underlying narrative. Maybe the full trailer will get me more excited, but it just seemed like a generic comic book trailer. That's interesting. I can kind of see where he's coming from.
I would concur with this.
Because there is a lot of things going on just kind of thrown together, but it is a teaser. It's not supposed to give you story. It's supposed to give you a feel, but I kind of get that. I get that. And then Logan Janis from Mostly Superheroes says, I got chills in places I didn't even know could get chills. I wish I got chills. I wanted to. The Karate Kid trailer gave me chills. Superman, not quite, not yet, but I think Gunn does get it. I have faith in him. He does make you feel things. And we'll talk about some of the things he's making you feel right now. What are we watching? Creature Commandos. You guys caught up?
Yeah, I watched
Spoiler.
it. Spoiler alert.
Episode 4, we got the Weasel-centric episode. There's something about Weasel that I'm drawn to. I think it's the mystery and the randomness and the wildness. But he does it again. He grabs you, makes you care for someone, and then fucking rips your heart out.
Yeah, but I am tiring of everybody who's evil is really not evil.
Well,
like everybody's redeemable, or everybody's got like, oh, but this is why we should sympathize with. Well, can't we just have bad guys anymore that are pieces of shit? Like we can't do that.
Yeah,
like a guy will murder somebody in cold blood and be like, we'll find a reason to like this guy or whatever. So it's just weird. I'm growing weary of this. It's okay when they first did it.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, we're switching things up, but it seems like everything is like, how do we take somebody who's an evil character like Cruella de Vil or whatever and like humanize them and tell a story from their perspective? It's really Johnny that was abused and Daniel was the asshole. Like it's a juxtaposition, but now it seems lazy by overdoing it.
There's a lot of that lately in things.
So I don't really have like this like, oh, he's such a genius vibe. I'm like, oh, he's doing this. He's taking each of these characters now and showing you that they're not so bad. They're actually, whatever, maligned. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
So what do we learn? The Weasel didn't actually, we've heard in the Peacemaker and in this show, he killed 27 children. They think he's a serial killer. When he, like you said, Ruggs, just misunderstood little pet. He was playing with these kids and was trying to save them. And then they blamed the whole thing on him. Anthony, what'd you think of that? And the whole thing with the princess and Cersei's prophecy that's possibly true.
Oh yeah. So first off, I'm probably an easy mark because I still enjoy this stuff with James Gunn. I felt something towards the Weasel.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that sucks for that guy.
Yeah.
As far as the prophecy, I knew coming into this episode that there was more going on with Cersei, the way that ends. So I think we're going to find out more about, not Cersei, excuse me, the princess.
Yeah, Ilana Rostovic.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to find out more about that character and what really is going on there. Overall, these are easily digestible episodes. They're all 20 minutes. They have their formula of focusing on a character. I clicked with liking the Weasel, so I felt bad for him at the end when he's just trying to save those kids. And
it's effective.
Yeah,
yeah. He knows what. I can see Rugged Boy's point though. Like this, he goes to this well for everything, right? Every character.
Yeah,
it still works on me because I just kind of like it, and I click with James Gunn in that way. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode, and I felt it was almost. You're talking about kids burning in a fucking fire.
Shit. That look on his face. So he's trying to save that girl, and then when he sees her get burned up, the look on his face is. But he did this with G.I. Robot in the last episode, made me love him, and then blew him up, and he does it again. Humanizes the Weasel, and then what happened? He got killed, right? Weasel?
Who?
Weasel?
No, he got put in jail.
No, in the flashback.
They shot him up. Yeah.
But in the present storyline, did he die? What happened at the end?
What are you talking about?
I forgot how the episode ends. Because that was the flashback. why he was in Bell Rev.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, how did this episode end in terms of the present scene?
Yeah.
Present? Let me look it up. I forgot. To be honest,
because they're trying. Because Amanda Waller sends them to kill the princess. Flag doesn't want to do it.
Oh, that's right. Flag gets ambushed by Frankenstein. That's
right. Yeah, that's also.
Frankenstein thinks Flag is hitting on Bride when he's not.
Yeah,
and then they clear the misunderstanding, and then they agree to stop Task Force M. Because
they're gonna both save. Yes,
yeah, they both can use each other's help.
Right.
Flag wants to save the Ileana, and then
he's thinking with his dick.
Eric, just wants to get to the bride.
Yeah, he just wants the bride. Who the Frank scenes were really funny. Like his dialogue's pretty good. Yeah, I'm still digging it. It's he makes you feel things. I think we're going to see Clayface soon, and we'll see what else might tie into the Superman movie. I think it'll be because you see in that vision, you see all of them dead, and it's Cornset's Superman drawn in that scene where they're all on spikes.
Oh yeah.
So that is the vision that Waller gets shown. So yeah, still digging it. What about Skeleton Crew, Ruggs? You caught up on that episode 4?
Yes.
Oh wait, Creature Commandos already renewed for a second season. So they got faith in it. What'd you think of that Skeleton Crew episode, Ruggs? They find another planet. They think it's their planet, and it's not. It's full of kids.
Yeah,
kid soldiers.
And then they train them for 5 minutes, and then they're ready to battle.
And then they send them into a war, and then they just leave. Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think that whatever his name is, I can't stand the name of this guy, Jog or Jord.
Yeah, something. Captain Jack.
Jode, whatever his name is.
That's a horrible name.
He saves the day, and he swoops in and pretty much solves the problem in one fell swoop. And they're back on track.
Oh, and they get the droid to remember where the planet is, but then he wants to kill them all.
Yeah.
So this Jod guy, he does care about the kids. He's saving them. Like, I don't know what his...
Well, he needs them.
He does need them if there's treasure. But the whole thing about these rebel planets that were hidden, that was kind of cool. And then the coordinates were gone from the one, and they found all these... they're all at something, at Akaran, at something else.
Yeah, it's so far so good. They haven't fucked it up yet.
That's interesting. Okay.
It's not like amazing. It's a little. This episode was a little bit of a slow slog.
Yeah,
but it didn't do anything offensive. Everything that's happening should be happening. So it's refreshing when characters are doing things that make sense.
That's true.
In the plot.
That episode directed by the Daniels, by the way, the guys who did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Right.
They that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm still digging it. See where it goes.
It's fine.
Let's talk about the stuff we put on Patreon. Anthony.
Yes.
What was your review?
I did Karate Kid from 2010.
Oh, shit. All right. Give us a quick thoughts about that.
Ruggs is going to hate this, but I did not mind this movie. I enjoyed it. I think it's a little too long. It is completely beat for beat. It's
really too long.
Yeah, it is completely beat for beat, the original Karate Kid. But that's a formula that works, right?
Yeah.
Kid that's getting bullied.
Yeah.
And finds a father figure in a foreign land and rises up and confronts his bullies. Like, that's a timeless story.
Yeah.
They said it. I think they do enough where they said it in China and Jackie. I like Jackie Chan. I do agree. It's a little weird that they made it younger. It's a little harder as an adult to.
You don't like
connect
shirtless. You don't like shirtless Jaden Smith.
How old is he?
And like the fact that he's in like 5th grade or 4th grade and he's trying to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, you know,
it just seems like really. It just seems gross.
I mean, I do remember being in 5th and 6th grade and liking girls, so that is a thing. Although as an adult, I don't know that I want to watch kids that young making out and shit. But
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, overall, it's a charming movie. It is completely derivative of the original. The only twists are making it in China, but some of the like fish out of water stuff in China is a little different than here. But I enjoyed it.
There's no reference to the previous movies at all, right?
No. Okay. It is definitely when this was made. It was made as a reimagining.
It's just for some reason there's some guy in China that teaches people karate the same way Mr. Miyagi does. And so that needs to be explained.
They met at the Sakai Takai, I'm telling you.
Like, so somehow we're like, yeah, I'm going to teach kids by making them do weird shit. And not asking them not to question it.
Where did that start? I'm going to have to watch this.
He does a whole, instead of wax on, wax off, it's take off your jacket, pick it up, take off your jacket.
Okay. Oh, they do it like that.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, that's one of the things that I fucking couldn't swallow at all, because I was like, all right, you're making this movie where now that it's tied to Karate Kid, it's even worse. Like, unless there's a real good like, even why would they both, they had to have the same master, or they had to experience something where they would have to do, like, if they're in the same universe. I can understand a completely separate movie doing it, but now that it's tied to it, I find it just, how are they going to explain that to make sense, or we have to just swallow that one? But the movie is well made, and the karate scenes are good, or the martial arts scenes are good.
Yeah, they are pretty decent.
But I just didn't like I didn't like how it was aged down. I didn't like that he had his shirt off all the time, and that they made this romance with these young kids. It just felt a little bit gross, but everything else was cool. It's like Will Smith couldn't wait for his kid to like have like a big romance movie, so he like forced it in onto this one where it didn't fit, because he wanted to trying to make his kid like the next thing.
You're like, wait till he hits puberty at least, bro.
Yeah, like, he has no hair on his balls. He doesn't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. It just was weird. That's all.
Rex, what'd you review on the Patreon this week?
I watched Red 1.
You know what? I also watched that last night. And it's all right.
It's a movie, and people are in it.
Yeah.
And it's about Christmas. Yeah. It's got Krampus.
It's got Krampus in it, Santa Claus's brother.
Who's playing Krampus?
I don't know, but this is how bad this movie did in the box office. It was streaming on Amazon Prime 25 days after it was released, because they were not. Right. But you know what? As an Amazon Prime streaming,
I was surprised to see that this movie was already on.
Yeah, December 9th, it went on streaming. I watched it, and for like a dumb turn off your brain holiday, that's kind of like a superhero movie, I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's fine. Like, I didn't really laugh at a lot.
It's like if you took a generic, like a generic, like movie, like a generic action movie, and put Santa Claus in it.
Yeah, except J.K. Simmons is like asleep during most of the movie. And I mean,
so let's do the really quick. The really quick story is, The Rock is Santa Claus's main guy,
bodyguard.
Yeah, and he gets abducted, and now he has got to find Santa Claus, and it's an action movie with The Rock and Chris Evans.
And Chris Evans is this kid who never believed in Santa Claus, and he can just find. He's a good tracker, can find anything. So yeah, I mean,
it's like a buddy movie.
It is a buddy movie. They do a weird thing though, a little bit spoiler maybe, with like shrinky powers. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. It's kind of,
you have a mini Rock just shrunken down, and there's odd.
There's mind-numbingly hilarious or like ridiculous stuff
how
going
Santa
on.
can get to everybody's house in one night, I guess.
It's dumb.
I'd like the Krampus part though. I got to tell you, I don't know why. I kind of enjoyed the Krampus bit. That guy was great.
Well, they did like they do things that are smart, and then they do stupid shit. So like they're pulling from like real like mythology with Krampus and the witch, whatever her name is.
Yeah, don't say her name.
Yeah, Hot Grilla.
Jay-Z Grilla.
So
it's fine for just like it's fine.
It should have
just went straight to streaming, and it would have been fine. What else you got?
Did I watch something else?
You watched Secret Level on Amazon? Did you watch the rest
I
of
watched
that?
all of Secret Level, yeah.
I've got 2 episodes left. I really like this anthology. The animation.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's like based off video games, and I don't really know some of these video games.
But they don't overstay their welcome. They're quick.
They're anywhere from 20 to 10 to 20 minutes. The animation is gorgeous.
What was your favorite one so far?
God, I don't know. Like the one that was super realistic, the Crossfire one. At one point, I forgot I was watching an animated thing, and I just thought it was live action.
Was that the one where the dad goes through space?
No, it's the one with like the terror. It's like they're protecting the package with the guy with the briefcase. It had some dope fucking action scenes. The Pac-Man one is really interesting and weird. The Arnold one also
is great. That's a great one.
Fun. And I have like 2 left. I think it's the Keanu Reeves one. The martial arts one was good. they're all different, and I kind of like them all, and I just think the animation is gorgeous.
You don't have 2 left. You actually have. They loaded another 8
No,
more.
I watched like 12 of them. Yeah, there's like 15 total.
Okay.
And then what else? You watched Watchmen Chapter 1.
I watched Watchmen Chapter 1. It was fucking pretty damn good. I can't wait for the rest of it. It's actually, it's the they did a motion comic once that they animated, and that was kind of like all right, but it was like you could tell it's like it's very very stiff. This is like they took the comic and made it into a 3D animation, but that looks like 2D animation.
It looks like Dave Gibbons' artwork, and I wouldn't have thought I needed another adaptation of Watchmen, but I really like this because they're doing the book. It's more loyal to the book. They got the Tales of the Black Freighter in there, and I was wondering how they're going to deal with that, and I think it works with the voiceover and showing us the comic pages. Chapter 1 ends with Rorschach getting caught and going to jail. So the chapter 2 is you can rent it, but I don't know, probably in a month it'll just be available.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait it out.
But yeah, it was really good. I was surprised. The voice acting is great. Well,
yeah, everything's good.
What about What If has started? Season 3, episodes 1 and 2
First episode was cool. Second episode, I didn't give a shit about.
Anthony,
I gotta watch.
You got a chance to check this out?
Not yet.
It's all right. It's all right. First,
you can talk about it though.
First episode with the Gamma War and that's the one where it's like Voltron.
It's kaiju
versus kaiju
versus robots.
Oh yeah, that one I was intrigued by.
That one is fun. The second one has Kumail in it. Yeah. It's Agatha Harkness in Hollywood and the Eternals and magic, and Kumail is in it as
I
Kingo.
couldn't wait for that one to be over.
There's a whole Bollywood scene. It was all right. I like the end of that one. The first half, I was like, "Where's this going?"
You know what? Like, I gotta say, this is that I'm over this animation now. Like, I really think that ever since I watched Arcane, like I'm like, oh, this is what it should be now.
Even like secret level stuff, right? That's different. It's
and watching secret level now,
CG, but. I kind of with you. Some of the end of the second episode was kind of beautiful. What they were doing with the Eternals and the cosmic shit. I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it looks okay.
Yeah.
Just not all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks really like blasé. It doesn't really. It's like over. They have too much strong lighting all the time, and it looks weird. Very yellow. It just needs a little bit. Something else.
Yeah, we'll see. There's be able to enjoy this over the holidays as there's one episode coming out for the next
every day,
like 7 days.
Day, huh?
Yeah. And then to just tie it back to Superman, I did watch on Max, which is actually DC Studios' first thing, is the Super/Man.
Heard that's awesome.
The Christopher Reeve story. It will make you cry several times. It is really good. The story of Chris Reeve is tragic and then uplifting. And then kind of sad again. But you learn a lot of interesting things. Like, I guess it's no surprise, but when he got Superman, he was making it, nobody had any faith in this movie at all. And he was trying to please his dad. And he went to Juilliard with Robin Williams. So his dad was into like actual acting. And there's a funny anecdote where he told his dad, and his dad was proud, but his dad thought he was talking about a Bernard Shaw play called Man and Superman. And he was proud of him. And when he found out it's a comic book movie, he did not approve. Poor Chris. But you learn about they have footage of the accident, which is wild. His recovery, Robin Williams trying to help him. And then his wife, who's just amazing, Dana Reeve. This is all, it's not a spoiler. This happened. It's also very tragic. I remember hearing about this. Like a year after Chris passes, she gets lung cancer. She'd never smoked a cigarette a day in her life and dies from lung cancer.
Damn.
It's crazy, right? And so now the kids are now in charge of the Christopher Reeve Spinal Cord Foundation. But essentially, Chris Reeve, Superman, has helped people with spinal injuries walk currently because of this foundation. And there's the clip when he comes out at the Oscars the year after in the wheelchair, his accident. It's all very emotional. And you're like, holy fuck, what a crazy story.
Just the trailer made me cry.
Yeah, it will make you cry. But it's
just, I don't know if I can watch the whole thing. I don't think I'll make it.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough, but it's really good. And he was.
Because,
yeah.
Look, man, like, you grow up when you're a kid in the early 80s, and Superman is, that's was the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was no other movies like that. Nobody really made a big budget superhero movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It took it seriously. Yeah.
And as I grew up, as I got older, I started to appreciate, because I was like, oh, remember when I was a kid, Arnold was around too.
Yeah.
And Stallone was around too. And Jean-Claude Van Damme was around too. So like they kind of all of a sudden eclipsed Superman, like Christopher Reeves. I was like these really macho guys. And Christopher Reeves always had that vulnerability in his Superman and everything.
Yep.
But then when I was an adult or a little bit older and I watched Superman again, and I was like, holy shit, like this, he's really carrying this film.
Yeah.
He's got charisma.
Yes.
He's got this unknown quality.
Presence. Yeah.
Yes. And
God, when he smiles as Superman, it makes your heart all warm. Like, I don't know how he does it.
So like, and not only that, but like they don't make movies like that anymore.
Yeah.
They don't.
Earnest.
Yeah.
They don't really connect. And like they have there's so much mythology and greatness in that first movie. Like Jor-El leaving him these things.
Fucking Brando. Marlon Brando.
Yeah. And they do like the little bit of the prologue on Krypton.
Yeah.
That sets up the second movie. And, you know, it was a very fucking well done thing. And then I hated Lex Luthor and
Otis.
his little side and Otis' sidekick
That's my guy.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I wanted somebody to kick Superman's ass.
I mean, some of my favorite shit is when he saves Lois. When
but as you get older and you watch it again, it's great, and you realize Miss Teschmacher is really hot.
I've always loved when he catches Lois and he goes, "Don't worry, Miss, I've got you." And she goes, "You got me? Who's got you?" And then he catches the helicopter. It's so fun. And when he comes out of the phone booth and the guy's like, "Sweet outfit, dude!" Like that dude on the street. I think he was a pimp. Looked like a pimp.
Yeah. I love when the guy is crawling up the side of the building and then he just puts the thing on his foot. He looks up and Superman's just standing on the building.
And the stupid kid who crawls over the Niagara Falls banister and is playing that hand game. And of course he's going to fall. So yeah, there's always stupid kids that need to be saved.
Of course.
In Superman.
All I gotta say again is Mr. Smacker!
Mr. Smacker! I want him to say that. Lex has got to say that in this new movie.
It's Otis, right?
Yeah, Otis.
Oh, yeah, he's such a bumbling idiot.
He's great. Ned Beatty. I mean, Gene Hackman. I mean, had heavy hitters at the time. Gene Hackman and Brando were heavy hitters.
No, it's a great. I've seen that. I mean, I've seen them. It's a great movie. I don't have the connection to it as you guys did watching it as a kid, but I still recognize it being really, really nice.
No, like I have a connection with it. Like I hear the music.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I just get transported to a time when I was a little kid that I remember watching it on a big screen. Like we had a projection TV, and we were just we watched it and it like not nonstop. So
we will definitely review this movie before the next one comes out.
Yeah, we have to. In the lead up to the new one, we need to review the original. Because Chris Reeve, all he does, he drops his shoulders and drops his head. And he's Clark Kent. And all he has to do, stand up, pull his shoulders back. He's fucking Superman.
Even that scene where he's talking to Lois for the first time on the rooftop.
Yes.
There is some tension there. There is some he wants to, he's interested in a girl and she's interested in him and they're playing coy, and it's just really
they have
well
good
done.
chemistry. Yeah, it's a fucking great movie. Still holds up. All right, that's it for this week. Ruggs, where can the people find you online?
What am I? Rug Boy Show now? Yeah, Rug Boy Show on Twitter, on X.
Anthony, where can the people find you this week?
Where can the people find you? It's Christmas. You can find me underneath the Christmas tree, or
just
drunk. Either that, or I'll just be perpetually hanging mistletoe around every hot girl. And you're like, oh, you know what that means, right?
You don't have one of those things where it's just attached to your head and follows you around. That's
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be about 7. It's going to be about 3 feet higher than me. So that we're always under the mistletoe if I walk by.
That work.
Yeah.
Everyone have a happy and safe holidays. Check out our website. Check out links in the episode description for everything, how to follow, how to support. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll peep you next time. Ho, ho, ho.
My balls was hot.
Oh, Malone.
Thing I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
I like turtles.
I like that.
Jock and Nerd.